you, not big corporations. Visit peakwm.com for your second opinion and retire with peak confidence.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
Welcome in Tuesday morning. Good to have you. You know, there are some days when you just need a little extra oomph.
But
Today was one of those days for me.
I thought it was Wednesday already.
I stopped off. I stopped off and got a little espresso, a little iced coffee from Starbucks.
Okay.
And I thought, boy, that's bad. That's rough for a Tuesday. And then I come in. I see Lloyd walk in with a Red Bull.
Yeah,
and
watermelon.
Look, I know that game. I know the Red Bull. There are some days when you need a little extra.
Sure.
And that's where the Red Bull comes in. So I'm with you.
But I have a 5-hour energy inside of the Red Bull. A watermelon 5-hour energy in the watermelon Red Bull. So Lloyd, I thought I'd be bouncing off the walls in about 2 minutes.
If you just hear this sound, that is Lloyd buzzing in his seat.
Oh, gas. No brakes.
Yeah,
you got it, baby.
That's exactly
you
right.
You got to bring the heart monitor in for Lloyd.
Put my Apple Watch on and make sure he's all right over there.
Oh, boy.
Lloyd's like, my beats per minute is 312.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, so lots to talk about today. Obviously, we get to the news of Tarek Skubal. You go back to the offseason and the arbitration, and will they re-sign him? Won't they? Well, he's on his 1-year deal. He won his arbitration, and the whole thing now this season became about winning.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it isn't always, but it's Tarek Skubal's last year here. We expect
need to do
right.
We had high expectations.
That is going to be the case.
Yes.
Because they didn't re-sign him. So now he will be a free agent in the offseason. But Tarek Skubal yesterday, we got word that he is going to have to undergo surgery on his left elbow to remove loose bodies. And it's going to sideline him for an extended period of time. I've seen reports of 3 months.
Yeah.
For Tarek Skubal.
Mm-hmm. And his elbow's been kind of locking up on him.
Locking up.
You know.
He had it the other night.
Yes.
And he wasn't able to go. And now it comes to the point of, well, what are we supposed to do now? It puts the pitching rotation in a tough spot.
It does. Yeah.
Here's Skubal yesterday talking about the surgery.
Been dealing with some stuff, but I thought it was progressing and getting better. Yesterday I had something that kind of was different than what I'd been dealing with, and which led to kind of having some conversations with the training staff and AJ and trying to figure out what's going on. And wasn't very comfortable pitching today. So ultimately led to kind of getting the scan and seeing what's going on. And then, making the decision after that to obviously proceed and get surgery kind of as soon as possible. So that way I can be back as soon as possible.
Yeah, that rotation is going to be kind of wacky. Yeah,
Jason, I walked in this morning. Jason had a box of tissues next to him. I know.
Why?
You all right?
Why?
You all right over there, kid?
God.
And that's the thing. You said 3 months. Edwin Diaz, a reliever for the Dodgers, formerly with the Mets, he's recovering from the same thing that Skubal's about to go through. It's been about 3 months. So now August 5th is your target date. That's 1 week past the trade deadline.
Of course it is.
So, is anyone going to take a chance?
So if you thought about moving, well, the value goes down.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. You could still trade him.
Sure.
But you're not going to get the haul that you would have.
No, if he was
healthy.
Good, yeah.
And you're right, though. Like the rotation now gets wacky. Framber Valdez, who you paid a lot of money to, he's now going to be your ace.
Yeah.
Which
is okay. That's okay.
Fine. Jack Flaherty needs to get it together and quick.
And we still, Justin Verlander's still a wild card out there too.
Verlander's out there, yeah.
But you're going to require more from him. You want him to be your fourth. Now you got to have him be your third.
Third, yeah.
Does this team make the playoffs?
I
know.
I don't know. Not really sure. But look, offensively, they found a little something.
Yeah.
right? So they're going to have to lean on their offense, and that's going to have to be the focus.
Got to get them bats going. Got to get them.
Yeah, certainly. And then once you get into the middle innings, trying to protect that as much as possible with your relievers. But yeah, the Skubal news is a real bummer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bummer for JB Bickerstaff.
No.
He
got
gets
a
contract extension with the Pistons. And this comes after that win over Orlando. And look, he's 104-60 in his 2 seasons with the Pistons. And, they won 60 games this year.
Yeah.
So the transition from them kind of starting to put things together a little bit from that, 14-win season?
A couple of years ago when they won 14 games.
To where JB Bickerstaff has taken them, it's been impressive. And I remember when he was in Cleveland thinking JB Bickerstaff is the real deal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he's done something with this roster that they respond to.
And this series should be a really good series with Cleveland. We played Cleveland 4 times in the regular season. It's a 2-2 deal. We beat them twice. They beat us twice. So it should be a good game.
Yeah,
tonight.
A good season.
Mm-hmm.
But they go game 1 tonight down at LCA with Cleveland.
Yes,
7:00 tip. NBC Sports Network and Peacock.
Okay, you gotta say where it's going to be because who knows? It's a roll of the dice every time.
Correct.
Right.
It's like NBA roulette.
Yes,
you're just spinning it to find out where you're watching this thing.
Oh man, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is backing calls for an independent audit of vote totals from last month's Michigan Democratic Party convention in Detroit, where nominees for major statewide offices were selected. Nessel says she was alerted to issues with the voting app used during the convention, claiming it misattributed her votes and congressional district, and says she notified party officials immediately. The convention held April 19th, selected nominees including Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist for Secretary of State, Washington County Prosecutor Eli Savage for Attorney General. But controversy has grown in recent weeks, with multiple candidates now challenging results and claims emerging of misrecorded votes, voting irregularities, and missing tallies. Some officials are now pushing for an independent audit, saying confidence in the process depends on transparency and accuracy. Oh, boy. A mess.
Was this thing rigged?
Hey. That's the talk you're going to hear.
They're looking into it.
That's the
talk you're into it. Meanwhile, Iran yesterday opened fire on U.S. warships in the Middle East, and the U.S. military retaliated, destroying 6 Iranian small boats. These are these little boats that they'll kind of send out in groups if they want to make an attack, because again, most of their military is gone.
Gone, yeah.
And so this is I believe it was Scott Besson who said these are like gnats, right? They're not going to significantly injure a warship.
Sure.
Right. And the U.S. Navy isn't going to allow that to happen in the first place.
Yeah.
But they're more of like a nuisance, a pester. Not that to say that they couldn't do some damage, but they destroyed 6 of them yesterday, according to Admiral Brad Cooper at CENTCOM.
So is the ceasefire still ongoing?
Well, this is the fragility of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've got 15 missiles, 4 drones that were deployed yesterday by Iran. So it seems like the United States, at least as of right now, their position is keeping the strait blocked, keeping that at bay, while engaging in Project Freedom, as the president calls it, to try to usher boats out of the strait. But it seems like right now they don't want to respond militarily. Now, whether this is a one-off by Iran or we start seeing this more often, time will tell.
Yeah.
But it was that's a violation.
To me, that's a clear violation
of the ceasefire.
Sure.
But not to say that the United States won't respond. It's just, as of right now, it sounds like they're going to just let this play out, continue to apply the economic pressure, and see where that takes them.
And a small earthquake was felt across parts of southeast Michigan yesterday evening. The U.S. Geological Survey reports a magnitude 2.7 quake struck near Carlton in Monroe County about 5:30 yesterday afternoon. The tremor occurred at a depth of about 5.2 kilometers, and residents across Metro Detroit reported feeling light shaking. While no damage or injuries were reported, the quake was noticeable enough to briefly startle people in the area. This comes just days after a slightly stronger magnitude 2.9 earthquake hit near Amherstburg, Ontario, April 26th. That quake also felt across parts of the region, highlighting a recent uptick in minor seismic activity around the Detroit River area. I didn't
feel it?
I didn't feel anything yesterday. I didn't know it was an earthquake. I didn't feel anything. I have felt them before. I told you about the one when I was here years ago and the Fisher Building swayed.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an Ontario earthquake, and I could feel it, but I didn't feel this one yesterday.
This explains why I did such a poor job pitching at my son's baseball game yesterday. That's what happened. It was not me. It was the earthquake.
Gotcha.
All right. Has to be what happened.
Yeah.
Mallory McMorrow's past comments on social media have come back. Do they hurt her? We'll talk about it on the other side on JR Morning.
Hey, gang. Jim Harper here with a little trivia for you. Did you know that 30 years ago, the average age for hearing loss was 73? You know what it is today? It's 50. Yep, that means us boomers. But the good news is Cruise Hearing Aid Service can really make your life better. It starts with a free hearing screening test. It might just be waxy buildup, which they can remove painlessly for only $50. If you do have some hearing loss, Felix Cruz and his kind staff can help you dial in a new hearing aid that's almost unnoticeable. Their technology is state-of-the-art, and their care is old-school, warm, and friendly. Cruz Hearing has 3 locations, Farmington Hills, Taylor, and Waterford, and cruisehearing.com. After all those years of rock and roll, we shouldn't be surprised about hearing loss. Call Cruz Hearing Aid Service and start getting your wonderful life back. 877-456-CRUISE. That's 877-456-CRUZ. Cruz Hearing Aid Service.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen Sundays at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. Sponsored by Must Construction Careers. Learn more at mustcareers.org.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, Bob, how's business?
Sucks.
That bad?
Sucks. And I'm not alone. Did you see the new report by the regional chamber? Our Michigan economy's been thrown into reverse.
I did see that. We used to be in the top half. Now we're like
at the bottom. No wonder I can't find good workers or new clients or...
You know, you should do what I did. Join Trade First.
Trade First?
Trade First Barter Network. Go to tradefirst.com and see. Opens whole new markets.
And grows your business?
Trade First grew my company by 10 to 20% in 2 years as a member.
Wow.
And because it's a trade exchange, it really conserves cash flow.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of the opposite of sucks.
Thousands of local Michigan businesses are growing through the Trade First Barter Network. Go to tradefirst.com and watch a quick video to see trade in motion. Tradefirst.com or call 248-544-1350. Get going. Start growing. Tradefirst.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Pro-Life Across America.
Hi, I'm Angie. Did you know a billboard can save a baby's life? It's true. You can make a difference by helping us spread the pro-life message to reach those who are struggling with an unplanned pregnancy. Please make a gift today. Visit prolifeacrossamerica.org.
Well, the good news is there's no accidents on the roads right now. A few construction notes, Grand River in both directions at Middle Belt. Left lane is closed till this afternoon. The northbound 75 service drive between 10 Mile and Dallas Avenue. That's closed until 5 p.m. Thursday. 2 right lanes closed on southbound Gratiot after Shane until 2:30 on Friday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by NECA IBEW Local 58. Count on the Powering Michigan team of IBEW 58 skilled electricians and unique assignatory contractors for your next commercial, industrial, public, or residential construction project. The best electricians, the best electrical contractors, period. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. Here's your forecast.
The unseasonably cool weather will continue. Not a bunch of rain around this morning, but and picking up a few showers. I think they'll continue to be on again, off again into the afternoon. I think more mostly cloudy than anything else. A little bit breezy near 60. Tonight will drop to 43, suburbs in the 30s with a few showers. Might get a break tomorrow morning, then showers late in the day again. Partly sunny in between. 60 Thursday, cool and partly sunny, 58. For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Skajik on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming in June, the biggest birthday party in history.
America 250, Michigan made from 760 WJR.
So new tension in this primary race for U.S. Senate here in the state of Michigan. A report surfaced on CNN highlighting these roughly 6,000 tweets that were deleted by State Senator Mallory McMorrow, who's running for U.S. Senate. She would disparage this part of the country, the Midwest. She would praise California. She included all kinds of different remarks about Donald Trump, things like that. And this is when all of these candidates, whether it's Abdul El-Sayed, Haley Stevens, or Mallory McMorrow, are trying to jockey for position here.
Yes.
Because this is a pretty hotly contested race.
Yeah.
I want to play you a little bit of audio, something that Mallory McMorrow said on Sunday on CNN with Manu Raju. She talked about, she had reposted or retweeted a tweet that said, no, it's not that Midwesterners don't understand, or it's not that the coastal elites don't understand the Midwesterners. It's the Midwesterners that don't understand the coastal elites.
I think we all need to understand each other better. Trump has succeeded in weaponizing us against each other, convincing us that we are each other's enemies. I've lived all over the country. I've met a lot of different people, and I stand by that. Was it the most eloquent tweet I've ever tweeted? No. I've tweeted thousands of times.
Caitlin Buss is the assistant editorial page editor with the Detroit News, did a piece on this and joins us this morning. Caitlin, good morning. What struck me most about that particular interview on CNN was, if you go back to 2024, what was the narrative? Well, it's that the bookends of the country don't get the middle. They don't understand it. And Mallory McMorrow, even after this old tweet resurfaces, she's doubling down on that. That to me was remarkable. Is Caitlin there you go. Sorry, Caitlin. We got you now. Go ahead.
Hear me?
Yes.
Okay. When this first hit, she's roughly, and I've been, around Mallory McMorrow for, a long time. She's certainly been around here in Southeast Michigan. But when this surfaced, I kind of thought, okay, she's a millennial candidate. Lots of us have social media. We've had it for years and years. I kind of tried to get it. And I see your point, I was a normal person making normal tweets, but no, she was never a normal person. She's always been, as far as I've known her, angling, for office. And what I also thought was interesting is the tweets didn't reveal anything necessarily new about her. Mm-mm. It just pushes back on the message she's trying to send now. We know that she has, progressive tendencies. She's voted that way as a state senator. She's been very supportive of the, gender ideology, some of the more woke policies. But lately she's tried to rebrand more as a centrist to, get through that general election should she get there. So I don't know that this is a huge problem for her in the primary. The Democratic primary is kind of a mess. And those voters, tend to be farther left. But this is definitely bad should she make it through to the general. Like I said, I thought it was her deplorables moment. I mean, it just kind of laid bare everything she really thinks about Michigan, the middle of the country, this old debate that's been going on. And now she doesn't know what to say about it. But like you said, she doubled down on it. So I think that's an off-putting message for Michigan voters for sure.
Caitlin, can a candidate recover from a perception of condescension, or does that tend to stick with you?
It obviously stuck with Hillary. I think Mallory is very different, in a sense from her, in that she's more up and coming. She's kind of the newer Democratic establishment versus the old. I think she can recover from this. I don't think it will tank her campaign necessarily, but she was already kind of polling in the last poll a bit behind. So we'll see what happens here. That Democratic base is so all over the place right now. I just don't know where this will land.
Interesting. Caitlin Buss, thank you for your time this morning. Really appreciate it. Interesting piece in the Detroit News. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, you got it. Here is a couple other things that she said. When Monteraju asked her about these old tweets, things like, it's too cold in Michigan. I hate Michigan, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right. She says, well, look, I wasn't in office then. I was just a person. I was working in the auto industry. I was a designer. I was this and that. And I was just doing everything else that everybody else does.
I am not somebody who wanted to be in office or wanted to be in Congress when I was in diapers. I started my career as a car designer, and then I worked in a very different career and wasn't thinking about it. I tweeted normal things like a normal person, and people are desperate for authenticity. So that is what we need in November.
I don't mind that. I'll be honest.
Okay.
I like that. Now, whether she believes that or not, and by the way, we did reach out to Mallory McMorrow and try to get her on the show this morning.
Mm-hmm.
She was busy.
Decline.
I appreciate that message. Now, whether she believes that or not, whether she's just using that as cover for this issue is another story. But I appreciate that thought, because I think when you go back and you try to cancel people for tweets that they sent out 6 years ago, I think it can be ridiculous unless it's really egregious.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can at least appreciate that sentiment.
Well, didn't she send out wasn't one of her tweets? Didn't she say something about cars are dead?
Cars are dead. Yes.
Now here it is. That's our industry here in Michigan, and you're saying those kind of things. I mean, to me, that kind of, I would think that resonates beyond politics and kind of into the culture.
Well, here was another thing that she had tweeted again, and Monteraju asked her about this, is the comparison between the Trump administration and Nazism.
Yeah, I do. It is deeply concerning that we see an authoritarian slide, and as we talked about earlier, dividing people against each other to convince people that if you're not doing well economically, it's somebody else's fault, is an incredibly dangerous place for us to be in. I don't think that a lot of people would argue that there are shades of authoritarianism here that we need to be deeply concerned about.
So she doubled down on that as well. And this is another, like, I don't know. I mean, she's obviously trying to appeal to the Democratic base.
Yeah.
That's who she's courting right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is nonsensical to me. I mean, if you truly believe, either you are ignorant to what happened in history with the rise of Nazism and the Third Reich and what that actually looked like,
yeah,
compared to what this administration is about, then you're on a different world. That either you don't know the history and you're comparing something that you don't know, or you're lying, you're pandering to people.
I just think now she's got to try to convince voters which version of her is the real one.
800-859-0957. I think this hurts her, not in the primary.
No, absolutely not. No.
Because again, this is the pool you're swimming in.
That's right.
Right? You're swimming in the Democratic base. You're swimming in with those voters. You're trying to get their support to then get you to the general. To November.
Yeah.
I think the underlying issue here is that they're still confused about how to message, how to get people support. And I think that's the problem.
Kind of all over the place.
Is you go back to 2024, I'm still not entirely sure they actually know what's going on. You go back to the 70s as well, the gas issues then.
Yeah.
Are we seeing correlations? And what are the long-term ramifications of sky-high gas prices? We'll talk about that. Coming up on the other side, it's Share Morning.
Spring is here, and so are the savings at Clarkston Window and Door. This month, get 37% off installed replacement windows and doors, plus 0% financing for 15 months. You heard that right. 37% off and 0% financing for 15 months. Book your free no-obligation consultation today and let the sun shine in. Clarkston Window and Door, clarkstonwindow.com.
We sell, we install, that's right, we do it all. Clarkston Window and Door.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Many people seem to be incubating a rage looking for somewhere to go. Are there times when you think the country's out of control? You see all these things and you wonder, what in the world is going on? Was it this way 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Do we have the will or not? But we are Americans, and I believe we absolutely do have the will. I do this show for you. And when you're not interested in it anymore, I will just go away.
The Mike Levin Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
The right storage starts with understanding how you work. Visit Shelving.com's Madison Heights showroom, where their experts can talk you through your needs to determine the right fit. From Unirack pallet racking to Lion boltless shelving.
Shelving.com, we rack your world.
WJR's newest sweet deal goes on sale Friday, May 8th at 9 a.m. Purchase a $50 gift card to Chicane in Plymouth for only $25. One of Metro Detroit's chic new dining experiences. Visit WJR.com and click on Sweet Deals while quantities last.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Officials telling Fox News the U.S. is close to resuming combat operations in Iran. Right now, the ceasefire is shaky at best.
U.S. says it has enhanced the security area in trying to move ships out of the Strait of Hormuz. Yesterday, the U.S. says that the military sank 6 small Iranian boats that were trying to target civilian vessels. The U.S. military says 2 American-flagged merchant ships successfully crossed this critical waterway yesterday.
Fox's Alex Hogan reporting a federal judge apologizes to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Shooting suspect over the conditions at the jail where he's being held. U.S. Attorney for D.C. Jeanine Pirro slamming the judge, saying on social media the judge believes a defendant armed to the teeth and attempting to assassinate the president is entitled to preferential treatment in his confinement compared to every other defendant. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
No crashes on the roadways right now. Grand River in both directions at Middle Belt. You're going to find the left lane closed for construction till this afternoon. The northbound 75 service drive closed between 10 Mile and Dallas Avenue until 5 p.m. Thursday. 2 right lanes closed on southbound Gratiot after Shane until 2:30 p.m. on Friday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Cloudy and cooler today, a high of 61. Right now, it's 58. Clouds tonight and a low of 44. A slight chance of showers tomorrow, high of 57. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day.
Rocket Mortgage makes it easy to tap your home's equity when the time is right, so you can fund what matters most.
It's a neighborly day in this beauty.
Mom, we've got a little surprise for you. Like welcoming home the ones who brought you home in the first place. It's your home equity. Put it to work at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket Mortgage. Own the dream.
Small business owners, does your bank get your life? Does it let you switch from your personal to your business account with a tap? Or let you give your CPA direct access? We do. Let's give more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Thumb Coast Theater presents My Fair Lady. Step into the world where Cockney flower girl Eliza Doolittle gets a chance to leave her humble beginnings behind with a little help from Professor Henry Higgins. This timeless musical is a dazzling tale of charm, wit, and transformation. My Fair Lady in St. Clair, April 24th through May 17th. Catch JR afternoon 2 to 4 p.m. this Thursday for your chance to win show tickets and a night stay at the Inn on Water Street. Tickets on sale at thumbcoasttheaters.com.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. At Hall Financial, we make mortgages easy and we make mortgages fast. And we do it with 5-star service from start to finish. With Hall Financial's Rapid Refinance, you could be approved to get cash out of your home's equity in as little as 1 day with the lowest interest rate we've seen in years. One client even got approved for $90,000 in under 24 hours, which allowed them to eliminate their credit card debt, start a home improvement project, and cut their monthly expenses by over $1,300. Imagine what it would feel like to be debt-free. We can do all this with a soft credit pull, so you don't even have to worry about your credit getting impacted. We have options available where you can even delay your mortgage payment for up to 2 months. If you want an easy, fast, and 5-star mortgage experience, call Hall Financial today. 866-CALL-HALL, or or you can go to callhallfirst.com. That's Hall Financial, 866-CALL-HALL or callhallfirst.com.
All Financial Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1467435.
Thanks for calling the Complete Battery Source.
This is probably a long shot, but do you guys carry a battery for my boat?
Yep, got that.
But you didn't even hear what kind of boat I have.
Don't need to. We're your Complete Battery Source, where the answer is pretty much always, yep, got that.
But what if I want a battery for my motorcycle?
Yep, got that.
I haven't been able to find a battery anywhere for my...
I got that, too. Look, Complete Battery Source has batteries for everything that uses batteries, and we stock batteries for virtual any boat, for personal watercraft and runabouts, to great big luxury motor yachts, and motorcycles, too. Why, we stock batteries to fit every bike, from little scooters to great big performance and touring bikes.
Well, that sounds great. Sounds like Complete Battery Source is the place to power up all my summer toys.
That's right. All you got to do is come into any one of the 5 Complete Battery Source locations: Brighton, Southfield, Ypsilanti, Okemos, and Houghton Lake. Call toll-free 877-ALL-BATS or click on yepgotthat.com. 5 locations. Now you got that?
Yep, got that.
Catch up with Dave Llewellyn on his podcast, now available on WJR.com.
The Hall of Famer, Alan Trammell, joining us today on the Dave Llewellyn podcast. Kevin McGonigal, who has had a fantastic start to his career, 21 years old. Now, you came to the majors at the age of 20, as I remember. He's 21, already making an impact. Your early impressions at the big league level of Kevin McGonigal.
Well, he's been fantastic, and he's wired a little bit different, where he's a little more mature, and when he comes to play, he's bringing it every single day.
The Dave Llewellyn Podcast. Go to WJR.com/Llewellyn. That's WJR.com/LEW Llewellyn.
Stay here for All Talk with Kevin Dietz at 9. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Well, you remember the oil shocks of the 70s?
Yeah, I was what?
You were little.
10.
You were a little guy. You weren't concerned about how much it cost to fill up
No,
fill
not
up the tank of mom and dad's car.
I just want to know if we were going on a trip.
Right.
We're going on a road trip. That's it.
Well, if you ask some experts, it's given them shades of that era because gas prices rose. And what happened?
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. auto industry, particularly the Detroit automakers, took a bath.
Yeah, they sure did.
It was a really rough time for the automakers. And what we're seeing now with the war in Iran, with the Strait of Hormuz and the gas prices rising again, could there be the ripple effects of how the gas prices and the prices that continue to linger at a much higher dollar amount than many of us would like? How does that then translate to the profits and profitability of our Detroit automakers? Paul Snyder is the chair of transportation design at the College of Creative Studies in Detroit and joins us this morning. Paul, good morning. It's good to have you.
Hey, good morning, guys.
It's hard to compare the situations because obviously times are a little different now, but what can we take from that time in the 70s, early 70s, and what can we learn from that into what we're seeing today?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to compare because, you know, back in the day, back in the 70s, the Detroit 3, they were working on some smaller cars, but I think without the enthusiasm that they do it today. And what I mean by that is like global cars. Everything has gone multinational now. So, you know, Ford, GM, Stellantis, they have studios all over the world. And they're working on small cars that they could import, but, you know, the sales just are not here in the U.S. Everybody's driving really large, heavy vehicles. And so the tendency is for people to want to feel safer and driving a really heavy, big vehicle themselves. So that's why we have all the SUVs on the road.
And are trucks and SUVs just so embedded in American culture that now even high gas prices won't shake that?
Well, yeah, I think so. But I do think that every time there is an oil shock or a bump in gas prices, that people start looking for alternatives. It's pretty amazing that, you know, every time this happens, there is an uptick in more efficient vehicles, and people tend to take fewer trips, you know, summer vacations with their car and things like that. when prices go up. So yeah, as an economy across the country, we're all very price sensitive, especially right now. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, the United States is the world's largest oil producer now, and that's a juxtaposition to what happened in the 70s going into the 80s. But now you mentioned the global aspect of the industry. Now things are so much more global, and the whole industry in and of itself is fighting not just within North America or the United States, but globally. So how do they, being particularly the big three, Toyota, companies like that, how do they look at what's happening now, and do they continue to evolve or change their strategy based on these prices that linger too high?
Well, nobody has a crystal ball in the glass houses at the at the top of these companies. Some of them are more prepared than others, and some of them have a deeper lineup that they could more easily import or start selling in the U.S. But when things like the decimation of all the EV mandates and infrastructure plans for electric vehicles changes overnight with a new administration, then as you know, a lot of the local industry has kind of lost billions in the last year just because of that change in strategy.
But
I think Americans were warming up to EVs, but we have to wait now.
Yeah, because in the 70s, the answer was smaller gas-powered cars, but do the EVs kind of represent a kind of structural shift that small imports did, back then in the 70s?
I think so. There was a lot of concern about range anxiety originally, and we need infrastructure for that to be mitigated. In the 70s, it was I think despite the fact that Detroit had been pumping out cars for 20, 30 years already, in a solid market that was buying pretty much everything they could make. That one was a bit different because Americans in general, aside from a few Volkswagens and Toyotas and Nissans or Datsuns back then running around, everybody was pretty much concerned or happy with their big vehicles, because the country could accommodate for that. But since then, the 70s and 80s, they saw a lot of different variety and a lot of, much broader mix of vehicle types in the marketplace. And people were warming up to more efficient vehicles, and they became more accustomed to price spikes and then, coming back down and then price spikes. But, the sort of birth of the SUVs came when oil prices crashed in the late 80s.
Right.
It got really cheap.
It is an interesting kind of look back and how they differ and how they compare in situations like this. Paul Snyder, thanks so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure, guys.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
And here's the other part too, is gas prices right now. I mean, sure, if you are in the market right now for a car, maybe it's going to influence the way that you buy. I don't think for most people that's the case. Maybe you got a little buyer's remorse if you picked up a big vehicle and you're like, boy, gas gets up to $5. It's tough to fill this thing up.
Yeah.
But the cost of these vehicles are already a problem, right? Even before all of this. I mean, the cost of these vehicles have risen and risen and risen. But they're tech filled. They've got a ton of different stuff, new safety features, things like that. And it's become more costly to produce. And so you start to layer these issues on. Gas prices are high. Cost of the vehicles are too high. So I imagine that will influence how people buy.
Well, I'm wondering if this
at least in the near term.
I'm wondering if this kind of moment is going to accelerate, EV adoption in the same way that oil shocks accelerated fuel efficiency back in the 70s.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I think it's a fair one.
Yeah.
But if that $75,000 or $7,500 tax credit or whatever was the subsidy to get these EVs, I think if that was still around, it might sway some more people.
Sure.
I don't know though. I haven't seen like a tremendous amount of more EVs on the roadway. Because you're still the infrastructure is still lacking.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have to put a charger in your home. I don't know.
You see more hybrids though, maybe?
I do see more hybrids.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely more hybrids.
Sure. Yeah.
But outright EVs, I wonder. It's a good question. And maybe there's a delay effect here. Right? If this continues on for
like a couple of months or some months. Yeah.
Maybe. Again, and it's going to affect a very small segment of people. You have to be in the market right now.
Right.
For a vehicle.
Yeah.
But I think maybe you could also think down the road, like, boy, if something like this happens again, what do we do?
Prepare yourself, yeah.
The I word is back. We'll tell you what that is. Patrick Anderson's next on JR Morning.
While no one knows what tomorrow may bring, Bridgestone is working toward a more positive outlook, with innovations like developing a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials. It's just one of the many ways Bridgestone is making a difference today for generations to come. Because that's what really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, it's the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management, and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now, 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
Support for Michigan Public comes from the University of Michigan's Look to Michigan campaign, dedicated to serving the public good by providing access to legal services, safer drinking water, and cancer-fighting treatments. Learn more at umich.edu/look.
Catch School Talks with Dr. Robert Livernoy.
This week on the program, we'll chat with the experts from the Belle Isle Nature Center. And you might be surprised at what kinds of wildlife live right downtown in the city.
What sets us apart from other nature centers is that we are really focused on Detroit nature, the intersection of the built and natural environment.
School Talks, Sundays at 3 on WJR. WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
Summit Racing has the parts, tools, and accessories to keep your ride summer road trip ready. You'll find everything for pre-trip maintenance and essentials like emergency roadside kits. Shop summitracing.com and enroll in the rewards program to get more power in every purchase.
Eastbound 94 at 26 Mile, an accident's off to the left shoulder. Grand River in both directions at Middle Belt left lane is closed till this afternoon. The northbound 75 service drive between 10 Mile and Dallas Avenue, that's closed till 5 p.m. Thursday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Treetops Resort. Treetops 5 distinguished courses mean every round lives up to its promise. Spectacular. Layer in the unlimited golf stay and play package, and the value becomes impossible to ignore. Quality, quantity, and consistency. Cincy. Honestly, it's one of the best golf deals in Michigan. To book, call 888-TREETOPS. Here's your forecast.
All right, the push now is for more dry than wet. You're going to hear showers mentioned, but don't be intimidated. Just a few showers this morning and a few this afternoon. I think more hours of dry than wet, cloudy with all that, and a west breeze, 59. Tonight, chance of showers, 43. Suburbs probably get into the 30s in spots. Partly sunny tomorrow, late showers, 60. Thursday, partly sunny and a couple degrees cooler, 58. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Well, and with the cost of oil rising the way that it has, inflation risks have intensified. The Fed at its meeting last week held interest rates steady, but Austin Goolsbee, the president and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, said that this split decision, it was an 8-4 vote. It was the most divided vote since 1992. It's not a vote you see very often at the Fed level. But he said that that particular decision said that it shows that there are complications going forward in how to craft the monetary policy, particularly at the Fed level. And as a result, could we see an inflation spike at some point? Patrick Anderson is the principal and CEO of the Anderson Economic Group and joins us. Patrick, good morning. It's good to have you. Do you agree with this, that inflation, the chance of it rising here goes up as the cost of fuel continues to rise?
Absolutely. The Chicago Fed president here is saying the truth. When you have a war like this and you have restrictions on energy supply and you're forcing people to make very difficult choices, particularly in Europe and Asia, and even in the United States, we're insulated compared to the rest of the world. But looking at your gas bill and it's $100 or it's $90 or it's $80 and you're used to $60 and you're doing that once or twice a week, that's painful for people. So yes, energy prices going up does in fact mean that you're going to see inflation as we calculate it go up, and it's going to mean that inflation as we feel it goes up too.
And Patrick, the Fed keeps coming back to that 2% inflation target. At what point does the Fed have to just accept that inflation might settle higher than 2%?
I hope they never accept that, Lloyd. I mean, that's part of the reason we got a Federal Reserve is to say that's not acceptable. We're not just going to allow ourselves to become one of the many, many failed countries that let inflation deteriorate their society as well as their economy. So I hope they stay on that. And one of the great achievements we've had since the days of Ronald Reagan was getting inflation back down. I mean, at one point it seemed like, we're never going to get back to where we should be and we're just going to give up. And that's one of the great achievements, I think, of the Reagan era was, no, we're not going back into malaise. We're going to be a great country. It's not just Ronald Reagan, but it was also Paul Volcker, who was appointed by Jimmy Carter, and a whole series of people since then. So no, I don't want us to accept that we can't keep our inflation under control.
Yeah, and Goolsbee said that. He said we have to have assurances that we're going to get to that 2% point. So trying not to settle above that, according to him. The 8-4 vote, there's obviously some disagreements on how to handle this, on whether these rates should be cut, trying to get people to spend more. Is that the way out of this?
Well, the 8-4 vote here, which you properly identified there, Chris, is highly unusual. Indicates that the committee that we have in the United States that settles on monetary policy is in fact split, and not in two directions, in three directions. We have some folks that really think, I'm reading the way they're looking at things, I think we should lower interest rates in the short term. Some people say, hey, we need to fight inflation, and some people say, let's just stay where we are. That's quite unusual.
And by fighting inflation, you mean raising the interest rate?
Yes, that's what I mean. And if you look at what the Fed governors are saying, and what Goolsbee's saying, he's saying, hey, we have to watch this inflation. It just spiked up from 2% to 3%, and it's not going down while we have energy price this energy price shock facing us. So, yeah, that's what he's suggesting.
And we're also looking at that leadership shift too. Jerome Powell moving to the governor's role and Kevin Warsh stepping in. How significant is that transition?
Oh, it's certainly significant. Now, I applaud Powell. I mean, on this show, many times I criticized the Powell Fed for going along with this false narrative that inflation was transitory. But over his tenure of his career and now in the close of his days as a chairman, he's upheld himself properly and done his job as the Federal Reserve chair, maintaining the independence of the Fed, which is to great worth to all of us. So I'm glad he's going to stay on. I also am looking forward to Kevin Warsh. I mean, this is a very, very smart a man who also has been ringing the alarm bells about the huge expansion of the Fed's balance sheet. And so I'm glad we're going to have a new leadership there at the Fed, and I think it's a good thing for the United States.
Patrick Anderson, the sage advice, as always. We appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
All right.
See you, Patrick.
Good to talk to both of you.
You too.
Meanwhile, Kalshi. Have you ever dabbled on Kalshi?
No, I haven't.
The prediction market?
No.
So they're rolling out new rules and safety regulations aimed at preventing minors from trading. I've gone on it. I've perused it.
Okay.
It kind of became popular during the last presidential election. And the problem here is there's different political and regulatory scrutinies that are all over this thing. But Kalshi's looking at age verification and monitoring tools to make sure that these younger users, particularly ages 18 to 20, aren't involved. They don't have the depth of knowledge. Not all, of course. Some are very smart.
Some are smart.
Kids.
Yeah, some are.
But for the most part, that they don't get involved, and so particularly the minors is what they're worried about. So these concerns that these kids are getting on the marketplace and trading money and putting money out there that they don't necessarily have.
Well, I mean, you know, these digital platforms have struggled a lot of times with verifying age. We know that these fake IDs and shared accounts and, you know, these weak verification systems, they kind of make it easy for these underage users to get through. I mean, so the question is, you know, whether Kalshi's new steps are going to actually be effective in keeping these young people off. I know what they want to do, but, you know.
Do you think it could be effective?
I hope it can. Let me put it that way. I mean, hope it can be effective.
I think it can be effective as, you know, like you mentioned, the shared accounts on social media.
Yeah.
You know, if a parent signs off on it and you're, 14, well, then that's a different set of circumstances.
Exactly.
You're gaming the system, even though that's what the companies are trying to push back on. Now, they've been pushed to that point. They've been pushed to the brink to try to make some of those changes. But that's where the workaround comes in. And you know, if a kid tells his parents, I got a great idea here. If you give me $100, you know, you sign me up for this Kalshi account, I'll be able to turn that into $1,500, whatever it is.
Right.
You know, and maybe the parents let the kids do that, but they're trying to push back on it, which I appreciate. I don't think kids should have access to these types of platforms.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, they're you know, platforms that they can be and that they can't be. And, you know, I get it.
Big Pistons game tonight, 7 o'clock hour next.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this. Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career. Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
It's
Jamie Edmonds. There's nothing like a day at the ballpark with the Detroit Tigers. The roar of the crowd, the smell of fresh cut grass, and now the taste of something truly special. Introducing Detroit's Grand Slam ice cream from Guernsey Farms Dairy, proud partner of the Tigers. Made with rich, creamy goodness and packed with hometown flavor, it's the perfect way to celebrate every inning, every hit, every home run. Heading to the game? Make sure to grab a scoop of Guernsey right at the park during every Tigers game, because baseball isn't just America's favorite pastime, it's even better with America's favorite treat. Cool off, treat yourself, and make every Tigers moment a little sweeter with Guernsey Farms Dairy. Guernsey Farms Dairy and the Detroit Tigers teaming up to knock it out of the park.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Into a quagmire. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's Iran's warning to the U.S. today after firing at ships in the Strait of Hormuz at the start of a U.S. operation aiming to escort vessels stranded in this conflict.
We do know early on Monday, 2 vessels were successfully escorted through the strait, but since then, Iran has ramped up attacks on the UAE, a U.S. ally in the Gulf. 15 missiles and 4 drones targeted the country with damage caused to a key oil facility. The bottom line here, the Iranians are testing this fragile ceasefire.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
I spoke yesterday with President Trump, who told me that if Iran attacks U.S. vessels in this area, they will be, quote, blown off the face of the earth.
The U.S. has sunk 6 small Iranian boats that have been targeting ships. We'll get an update on this next hour from War Secretary Pete Hegseth. U.S. military also blew up another suspected drug trafficking boat in the Caribbean yesterday, killing 2 more alleged narco-terrorists. Cole Allen remains jailed the day after a judge apologized to the suspect in the White House Correspondents' Dinner attack, who's charged with attempting to assassinate the president.
Magistrate Judge Zia Faruqi criticized his treatment, saying that despite the charges, the court and the jail are supposed to presume the man's innocence. Well, the 31-year-old was placed on suicide watch when he was first imprisoned. That requires placement in a padded cell without access to phones, recreational time, books, or religious materials.
Fox's Alex Hogan. The rest of the polls are opening now in Indiana after voting started an hour ago in other parts of the state, where Trump controversies on today's primary ballots.
After some Republican state senators voted last year with Democrats to block President Trump's redistricting efforts, 7 of them now have President Trump-backed primary challengers in districts the president carried in 2024 by double digits, including in Indiana District 21, where Republican Tracy Powell is running to replace State Senator Jim Buck, who has the backing of the president's former vice president, Mike Pence.
That's Fox's Jeff Manasso. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster. Buying custom blinds shouldn't be complicated or stressful. That's why we make it simple and affordable. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Ordering takes minutes, installation is easy, and we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Still have that crash on eastbound 94 at 26 Mile. It's off to the left shoulder. Also slow travel on eastbound 94 between 96 and 75. Grand River in both directions at Middle Belt. Left lane closed for construction till this afternoon. And the northbound 75 service drive between 10 Mile and Dallas closed for construction until 5 p.m. on Thursday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. North Bloomfield Properties is a trusted source for rental property management for over 3 decades. They handle the advertising, cleaning, and repairing of your rental. Let the experts at North Bloomfield Properties manage your investment property. You can enjoy your weekends again. Visit northbloomfield.com. Cloudy and cooler today, a high of 61. Right now it's 58. Clouds overnight with a low of 44. Then a slight chance of showers tomorrow and a high of 57. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Inside Retirement with Brett Brzezinski of the Brzezinski Group, Tuesday nights at 7 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Inside Retirement with Brett Brzezinski, Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Every day, unsung heroes are transforming our neighborhoods. And 760 WJR's Michigan Voices with me, Marie Osborne, is here to tell their stories. But we need your help to find them. Do you know a local nonprofit or other community organization making an impact? Help us shine a spotlight on their work. Email the details to michiganvoices@wjr.com. Let's join forces to amplify the people building a better Michigan. Michigan Voices, Sunday mornings at 5:30, only on 760 WJR.
WJR's newest sweet deal goes on sale this Friday at 9 a.m., and you don't want to miss this one. Purchase a $50 gift card to Chicane in Plymouth for only $25. That's right, half off to enjoy one of Metro Detroit's chic new dining experiences, located in Plymouth's Old Village. At Chicane, you'll discover fresh seasonal dishes from their live fire grill, handcrafted cocktails, and live entertainment in a boldly modern setting. Plus, enjoy unbeatable happy hour deals. Celebrate Mom this Mother's Day with Chicane's Classic Brunch on Sunday, May 10th, 10 to 3, featuring prime rib, salmon, made-to-order omelets, and more. Or book your next special event in their stunning Apex or Circuit Room. Set your reminder now, Friday at 9 a.m. Visit WJR.com. Click on Sweet Deals and get your $50 Chicane gift card for just $25 while quantities last. WJR Sweet Deals, half off for a full, memorable experience.
It's another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk.
7 o'clock hour. Good to have you. We got some good news and some bad news. The good news is the Pistons are on tonight.
Yes, they are, against Cleveland down at LCA.
7 o'clock tip. Got to get this thing started on the right foot.
And JB feeling good this morning, I got to imagine.
JB's feeling good. He gets a contract extension.
Yeah.
The details have not yet been released.
Not so good if you're in Orlando.
Not so good if you're in Orlando. Their coach gets the axe.
Yes.
Well, you can't give up, or you can't only score 19 points in game 6 and then lose game
at home
7.
and you're up 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah,
that's a tough
kind
look.
of hard.
Yeah, tough look. But JB Bickerstaff gets a new contract. Pistons are on tonight. Very exciting times down at LCA.
Yes.
At least one of the teams that are playing there is holding up their end of the bargain. Meanwhile,
what do you say? Tell us what you're saying, Chris.
The Red Wings have a long way to go. Meanwhile, Tarek Skubal, the bad news is he's going to be out. He's going to undergo elbow surgery. He's got some things in there that he's got to get out, and it's going to keep him sidelined for quite some time. Jason mentioned another pitcher in Major League Baseball is going through the same thing. It's about 3 months. And whether or not that's his trajectory, we'll see. There's been no timetable set for his return, but he's going to miss some significant time.
And what does that mean for our pitching rotation right now?
It means that they're going to have to step up. Yeah. It means you're going to need better outings from Jack Flaherty. You're going to need better outings from, Casey Mize, guys like that who are already dealing with injuries. Verlander dealing with an injury. So, Framber Valdez gets brought in. He's going to be now your ace, where he was a tremendous number 2. But it's going to put more strain on the starting rotation. It's going to put a lot more strain on the middle relievers. And offensively, they're going to have to.
The bats
get
got to
after
go.
it.
The bats got to start.
Yeah, they're going to have to get after it. But interestingly enough, the crazy world of all of this is in the offseason, you had the arbitration with Tarek Skubal.
Mm-hmm.
They offered him a contract. He didn't want it. It wasn't, it seemed pretty low for what market value was going to be for him. But he wins arbitration, so he makes a little extra dough, but they don't have him signed to a long-term deal. This is his last season. And it seems the mindset was you go out and get Framber Valdez, you go out and get Justin Verlander, those kind of shore up your rotation.
Yeah.
And now you're back-to-back Cy Young winner. Your ace is going to be sidelined for a couple of months here, and that's going to be problematic. So they're going to have to pick up the slack.
City and county leaders in Southeast Michigan are launching this new push to prevent gun-related tragedies involving kids. Now, yesterday, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy introduced an audio campaign urging residents to securely store firearms. Worthy says in more than a decade of cases, her office has seen guns left in cribs, couches, kitchens, even children's play areas. She says CDC data shows firearms are now the leading cause of death for children in the United States, and in her cases, 91% of unsecured guns were loaded. Detroit Mayor Mary Sheffield backing a 6-point safety storage plan, while community leader Maurice Hardwick, we call him Pastor Mo, says gun locks can save lives and prevent stolen weapons from being used in other crimes. Officials say the 2024 law is now helping prosecutors hold people accountable. You know, as much as we've talked about that, Chris, on this show about storing your weapons, you still hear about kids getting shot with guns that are left in all these crazy places. And when the prosecutor starts talking about guns being left in cribs and couches and kitchens, I mean, come on.
That's just not responsible.
It's just not.
It's just not responsible. And you are not a responsible gun owner.
No.
If you're leaving a loaded gun in a crib.
Yes. And what do you think? Oh, well, you know, my kid's not going to touch it. They're not going to bother it. That happens to other people. It doesn't happen over. No.
Yeah, no, that is scary.
It is,
to say the least.
And it's a shame we have to even do this.
Or you get the situation like out at Oxford with Ethan Crumbly.
Exactly.
I mean, those guns were not properly stored. They maybe were put away.
Yeah.
But they weren't properly stored.
No.
They're not
right.
they're not in a lockbox or kept in an area where only the owner has the ability to access them.
Mhm.
That's not the case.
No.
And so, yeah, that is it's a major issue. You're just not a responsible gun owner in that case.
No.
Meanwhile, Iran opened fire on U.S. warships in the Middle East yesterday. The U.S. military retaliated. They destroyed 6 Iranian small boats, according to CENTCOM leader Brad Cooper. The U.S. military intercepted Iranian cruise missiles and drones, and this all while this effective blockade has been put into place.
And what about this ceasefire? Is it really a ceasefire now?
Well, it seems to me the United States is a little hesitant in trying to go with military action in response, because economically they're doing damage.
Oh, absolutely.
They're causing a tremendous
Iran
amount
is
of
having
havoc for Tehran.
Yeah, no, they're losing boatloads of money every day.
Yeah, so it feels like they're content with that at the moment. Now, is that a violation of the ceasefire? It sure seems like it. Sure seems like it.
It seems like it to me. And, if you're firing on ships and firing on people and trying to, damage ours with those little boats that we end up taking out, the little gnats, as they say.
Yeah. I didn't feel the earthquake yesterday.
I didn't feel it either, but there was a small earthquake felt across parts of southeast Michigan yesterday evening. The U.S. Geological Survey reports the magnitude 2.7 quake struck near Carlton in Monroe County at about 5:30 yesterday. The tremor occurred at a depth of about 5.2 kilometers, and residents across Metro Detroit reported feeling some light shaking. While no damage or injuries were reported, the quake noticeably enough to briefly startle some people in the area. I didn't feel it.
And you guys feel it, Brian? Do you feel it? You're downriver, right?
Yeah.
You didn't feel it. No, he says
No.
he didn't feel it.
No.
What time did it hit?
5:30.
5:30
p.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was asleep.
Oh,
so that sucker could have been shaking the walls, and he would have.
So I might have felt it, but I don't know.
Bev's in the living room just bracing for dear life.
He's like,
Brian sawing logs. 7:12, time for WJR's Business Beat, brought to you by Shelving.com. We rack your world. Here's Jeff Sloan, the founder and CEO of Startup Nation, to spotlight the entrepreneurial tech and startup community on WJR.
Good morning. This morning on the Business Beat, we asked the question, what are you worth? What? That's right. What are you worth? Well, that can be answered, of course, in a lot of different ways, but in the context of business, specifically when it comes to your value, the average value of a U.S. citizen in the advertising world, you're worth this. According to a recent report that analyzes and estimates the annual advertising value that people generate for Google's ad platform, the average U.S. consumer generates about $1,605 per year in advertising value. Proton, a Switzerland-based technology company focused on privacy, published the report last week, which draws on more than 54,000 demographic profiles and applies real cost per click data from live advertising campaigns to assign a dollar value to each of us. By putting a price tag on U.S. citizens, the report aims to highlight the financial value of personal data and the value of that data to advertisers. Applying real advertising auction benchmarks to each archetype determine the cost per click figures reflecting live market rates drawn from aggregated, anonymized pricing data across active campaigns. That is, what advertisers actually pay to reach each of these demographic profiles in Google's auction system. Interestingly, the top 10% of profiles, those are heavy desktop users, generate 43% of all value for advertisers. During the span of a decade, the average American represents nearly $16,050 in advertising value, and the most monetized profiles can reach as high as $180,000 across that time period. So there you go. Should you be feeling a little down or worthless today by chance, just know that at the very least, in the context of advertising value anyway, you're worth a cool $1,065. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, the source for everything you need to start and grow your own business. And that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
The right storage starts with understanding how you work. Visit Shelving.com's Madison Heights showroom, where their experts can talk you through your needs to determine the right fit. From Unirack pallet racking to lion boltless shelving.
Shelving.com, we rack your world.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags in a red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
You're great at protecting your data, but lots of places could still expose you to identity theft.
I thought it was safe.
If that happens, LifeLock gives you a US-based restoration agent who will stick by your side from start to finish. Phone calls, filing documentation, preparing insurance claims, your agent handles it all. In fact, we're so confident restoration is guaranteed or your money back. Isn't it nice to have someone like that on your side? Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Sometimes you need a helping hand on the journey home. Rocket Mortgage searches thousands of our loan options to find the low rate that's right for you. Mortgages can be complicated. Finding our lowest rate doesn't have to be.
Need a tow? Yeah.
Get it today at rocketmortgage.com.
Please won't you be my neighbor?
Rocket Mortgage. Own the dream.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. A conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by Clark Construction Company, thoughtfully planning and building educational facilities to foster innovation where students and faculty thrive. Visit clarkcc.com.
In the heart of Michigan, voice rings true. Perry Johnson coming, he got work to do. Conservative leader, just like the best. No hold bar, he's ready for the test. Quality efficiency, that's his game. Cut to the play, call him half the name. Crooked politicians led us astray. Perry's on a mission, he's here to stay.
4747, tax-free. That's how much you'll save each year with Perry Johnson as governor. Perry will eliminate the Michigan income tax by cutting just 2 cents off every state discretionary dollar spent and by eliminating waste and incompetence in our government. Perry's revolutionary efficiency helps save Detroit's auto industry. Now he'll save our state. Perry Johnson for governor. 4747.
This message paid for by Perry Johnson for governor, because we must implement the mega audit to eliminate the waste and return the money to the taxpayers.
The U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America's 50-member concert band is bringing you free concerts across Michigan, May 1st through the 7th. Get locations and free tickets at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
Summit Racing has the parts, tools, and accessories to keep your ride summer road trip ready. You'll find everything for pre-trip maintenance and essentials like emergency roadside kits. Shop summitracing.com and enroll in the rewards program to get more power in every purchase.
Eastbound 94 at 26 miles, still have a crash taking up the left shoulder. Slow travel on eastbound 94 between 96 and 75. Eastbound and westbound Grand River at Middle Belt, left lane closed for construction till this afternoon. And the northbound 75 service drive between 10 Mile and Dallas, that is closed for construction till 5 p.m. on Thursday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Mary Grove Awnings. You built the deck, you bought the grill. Now stop letting the sun push you around. Mary Grove Awnings, motorized, built tough. Click the remote, instant shade, and they can install in as little as 48 hours. Go to marygrove.com and book your free in-home appointment. Mary Grove, own your backyard. Here's your forecast.
Overcast hanging around, but not much rain coming out of the clouds this morning. A few showers around, and we could see some lingering showers into our afternoon. A west breeze and cool near 60. Tonight, still some scattered showers possible. 43. Suburbs will be a little cooler. Tomorrow, a few showers. It looks like a lot of that might be late in the day, and not much once again. Plenty of partly sunny 60. Partly sunny Thursday, 58. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dees. Coming up on All Talk, Republicans are sounding the alarm over new vehicle safety technology that could be required in future cars. Supporters say it's about preventing impaired driving, but critics warn it could open the door to privacy concerns and government overreach. Plus, the Pistons take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 2 of the playoffs. We'll break down the big matchup. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
Seven o'clock tip tonight down at LCA. You can watch it at NBC Sports Network or Peacock. The Cleveland Cavaliers are in town for round 2 of this playoff. And look, I feel much better. I feel much better going into this series than I did about halfway through that Orlando series.
Yes, definitely. And hopefully, wouldn't it be great if we can, keep home court and win both of our games here at LCA?
Hunter Patterson is a staff writer covering the Detroit Pistons for The Athletic and joins us this morning. Hunter, it's good to have you.
Good morning. I appreciate y'all having me.
So these two teams were really good during the regular season. The Cavaliers made some trades at the deadline. They got better, and as a result, I think we're buckling up for a good one here.
Yeah, I think it should be a great series, another physical series, and one that probably will go, I think, at least 6 or possibly 7 games.
How important, as even though it was scary as I don't know what, how important was it for the Pistons to go through what they went through with Orlando going into this series now with Cleveland?
I'd say it was extremely important. This group obviously is only in their second experience as just going through postseason ups and downs, and Jalen Duren obviously went through the rigors of being game plan for as a second option, and I think he'll be better for it going into this second round. But it's a team that just thrives in adverse situations, and it's obviously they don't want to be in those situations, but it seems like they really bond and kind of band together when they really need to. And Cade is someone who finds pressure as essentially a privilege in a way. So he just enjoys big moments and always seems to bring his best in those moments.
I mean, Tobias Harris is always pretty steady. He had a wonderful game 7. But when you look at when they're at their best, Cade is asserting dominance. Asor Thompson is defending, is stealing, and Jalen Duren is that outlet pass that always finds, he always finds himself a little open space there in the paint. Is that what it's going to take against Cleveland here?
Yeah, I think part of the challenges that they overcame in that first round were about kind of rediscovering what made them a 60-win team. And you can't allow offensive rebounds, which they were doing a decent amount through the first few games against the Magic. You can't turn the ball over. And when you limit those two areas, you force teams to play against one of the best defenses in the league over the last 2 years in the half court that a lot of teams have difficulty scoring against. So I think it's really just about limiting those two areas, not giving the Cavaliers an opportunity to have multiple possessions and from there, you just turn defense into offense. And I also think that the Pistons are going to have an easier time scoring on the Cavaliers just because there are more players you can target, essentially. Donovan Mitchell isn't the best defender. James Harden isn't really the best defender. But obviously, front court, you have a defensive player of the year in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, who's one of the best rim protectors in the league. So I think it'll be a fun matchup, but they've rediscovered what made them the best team in the East, and that should carry them in this series.
You expect this to be a fast-paced, kind of high-scoring series, or more of a grinded-out battle?
I think this is going to be a slugfest. This is for people who prefer old-school hoops, physicality, low-scoring games. I think this will be the series for them.
Well, we're very excited about it, and we're just looking to get this thing started tonight. Can't wait till 7 o'clock. Hunter Patterson, thanks so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Of course. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, you got it.
And I think, too, what's just as important, especially tonight, is the sixth man, which is the fans.
Well, yes.
Yes. I think that's huge as well.
I am looking forward to the Dennis Jenkins and Dennis Schroeder matchup.
Yes.
Coming off the bench, those two guards. Dennis Schroeder was on this team last year.
Yes.
So I don't know. That's another fun little matchup that I like to look for. But he's right. I mean, defensively, they're not the same type of team as Orlando was.
No.
And they're not going to run you off the ball like Orlando did.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a different matchup. But you just cannot look past James Harden.
That's the
very
thing.
Consistent. Donovan Mitchell's going to get you 20. He's going to get you 25 points a game. James Harden right in that area too. So these guys can be incredibly difficult to handle offensively.
Well, Cade, of course, has to do his thing, which he will, but we need Tobias and those other guys, JD, to really step up as well. And I think if you have those guys, hitting on all cylinders, it's just tough to beat us.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, overseas, the Iranian regime opened fire on U.S. warships in the Middle East. The United States retaliated. They destroyed 6 of these small boats. There were a number of missiles fired, drones that were launched as well. And this all goes to what is happening in the Strait of Hormuz, this blockade that's being put into place, applying a tremendous amount of economic pressure. I think this has been, whether they planned it or not, because I'm not entirely sure the plan was to put the blockade in place.
No.
I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. I don't believe that was the plan going in.
No, and I don't think they thought that Iran was going to start blocking.
Well, there were those reports that said that was a concern, that they were going to, put these mines down, or they were going to start firing from the coast, and that was going to be a problem for a lot of the travel in the waterway. Whether they expected them to actually do it or not is a different story.
Right.
But I think they thought it was a possibility. I don't think the Iranians thought it was a possibility that the United States was going to put a blockade in place.
Now, that is true.
And I don't think the United States thought that they were going to. I don't know that was ever part of the plan. I have no way to know. I know it came late, though.
Yeah.
It came much later after, the threats that the United States was levying at Tehran to, get these mines out of the water, to open the waterway, provide safe passage. That was after all of that rhetoric.
And people are still a little confused because on one hand, you hear the president say, talks are going well, things are going well. And then in the next moment, he's like, we're going to blow them out the water and just, annihilate them. So it's like, well, and it's like it could be the same day. In the morning, it could be things are going well. In the afternoon, we're going to blow them away. And people don't know, like, where are we really in this?
I don't think we have an answer to that. I don't think we have an answer to that. It seems obvious to me that the United States is willing to forego military action at this point.
Yeah.
If you haven't struck back at now, then I think that they're trying to go the diplomatic route.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to keep the blockade in place and go the diplomatic
because they're
route.
choking them out with the blockade.
Absolutely. Absolutely they are. Coming up on the other side, Bill Ballinger joins us. There is a special state election to replace Kristen McDonald-Rivet. It takes place today. We'll talk about it next. So, JR Morning.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Like many of you, I got LASIK surgery back in the 80s, and recently I started having trouble seeing, and it turns out They never told us LASIK doesn't last forever. So now what? Glasses? I haven't worn glasses in years, and I'm as vain as the next person. But then I remembered Mariana and the staff at Direct Optical Optique and how great they were at finding cool frames that look good on me, because they are frame stylists. You can't get that on the web or a big box store, and nobody has a bigger selection of designer frames than Direct Optical Optique. And Mariana still knows everybody by name. She's still selling cool glasses, one pair at a time, with a very personal touch. So if you wear glasses now or are wearing them again, you got to go to Direct Optical Optique and let them treat you like a star. They're the only ones who can do that. 2 great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple in West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to IKEA. OptiqueDetroit.com on the web.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and the Joint Chief Chairman going to give an update on Operation Epic Fury and Project Freedom after the regime fired on U.S. vessels and targeted the UAE with missiles and drone strikes.
This comes as the United States is working to guide ships out of the Gulf through the Strait of Hormuz as part of Project Freedom. I spoke yesterday with President Trump, who told me that if Iran attacks U.S. vessels in this area, they will be, quote, blown off the face of the earth.
Fox's Trey Yang. Shots were fired near the White House yesterday, briefly putting the area on lockdown.
The suspect fired his weapon after being confronted by officers. A juvenile bystander was hit by a bullet. A uniformed Secret Service officer shot the suspect near the Washington Monument. He's been transported to a local hospital.
And that is Fox's Mike Emanuel reporting. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
No accidents slowing you down on the roads. We are seeing slow travel on southbound 275 between 7 Mile and M14. Same with southbound 75 between Dixie Highway and Ortonville Road. Also, Grand River in both directions at Middle Belt. Left lane is closed for construction till this afternoon. And the northbound 75 service drive closed between 10 Mile and Dallas until 5 p.m. on Thursday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Cloudy and cooler today, a high of 61. Right now, it's 58. Clouds overnight with a low of 44. Slight chance of showers tomorrow, high of 57. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
At Michigan Auto Law, awards are nice, but winning means more than trophies. We've secured more million-dollar auto accident settlements and verdicts than any other law firm in Michigan. But what really defines us is how we take care of people like Kristen Hunt.
Thanks to this amazing team, I was able to focus on healing while they took care of everything else. They truly care about their clients, and they delivered incredible results.
That's what winning really looks like. If you've been injured in a car accident, go to autolaw.com. We handle everything so you can focus on getting your life back. Michigan Auto Law. People over everything.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
JR Morning. Chris, Jamie, and Lloyd with the stories that matter to you.
Chris Alberta joins us, the president of Principium Tactical Wealth Management. Is that your message to your clients, is just stay the course?
There's a tremendous opportunity for growth. I mean, I always give the baseball analogy, like a money manager's job is to swing the bat hard when there's a fastball over the plate. When you start getting wild pitches, you need to step away and just take a walk. We've gotten a lot of fastballs over the plate over the last few years, despite the fact that the pitcher looked like a drunk, crazy lunatic who was like wobbling off the mound. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get, but you have to swing the bat if you want to score runs, and that's what's been happening.
JR Morning, 6 to 9 on 760 WJR.
Join Jack Rizzula every Saturday night at 10 p.m. for Anything is Possible. Hear Jack present uplifting stories of some of the world's most remarkable people and their extraordinary life journeys. Anything is Possible. Sponsored in part by Ideal Group. We are Ideal.
Listen in for the Cranes Detroit interview with Mike Lee every Monday morning on JR Morning. Brought to you in partnership with Mercantile Bank. Looking for a new business bank? Mercantile can help drive your business forward. Learn more at mercbank.com.
Paul W. Smith can be found on Focus from noon to 2 p.m. on 760 WJR. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
Well, there's a lot of local issues to vote on today all around the state of Michigan. There is one also in the area, the Saginaw area, Midland, Bay City, things like that.
Without representation for a pretty good while there.
They have been senatorless.
Yes.
Since Karen McDonald Rivet was elected to Congress. And that was in early 2025. So it's been a very long 16 months.
Sure.
And there has been those clamoring in the communities to have that state leadership. The governor has said multiple times that they've been able to be covered. They can call offices, things like that. It's not their voices haven't been heard, but they haven't been able to actually cast votes on who would be representing them. And that's on the ballot today. Who's on the ballot? Democrat Cedric Green, Republican Jason Tooney, Ali Sleds is the Libertarian on the candidate. But up for grabs is control of the Michigan Senate.
Sure.
And part of that, there could be serious ramifications for laws that are being bandied about in Lansing. Let's talk about it. Bill Ballinger is the owner of the Ballinger Report and joins us this morning. Bill, it's good to have you back.
Great to be here.
This has been a hotly contested seat for quite some time, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. As you point out, 16 months, a record amount of time where there's been no representation. It's a tragedy. In my view, it should not happen. The governor has the power to call the election anytime she or he wants to. But this is a record amount of time, 16 months, that this district has had no representation. And that's an atrocity.
You know, Democrats clinging to this 19-18 majority, even with Garland Gilchrist able to break ties. How much power would a 19-19 split really give Republicans?
You're right, Lloyd. It really wouldn't give them very much. It really will not make much difference at all between now and the end of the year which party wins this race today. If it's a 19-19 Senate, if the Republicans win the race today, the Republicans are not going to be able to pass anything with Garland Gilchrist as the tie-breaking vote as lieutenant governor. So it's really, the importance of this race is the Democrats nationally are establishing a story, a narrative that Donald Trump is unpopular and Republicans are unpopular, and they've been winning special elections all across the country for the last 16 months. And this is a chance here in Michigan to win one here and say the same thing, They don't want the Republicans to win this and upset the apple cart, upset their narrative, and show that the Republicans actually have some life in them. They want to keep the losses piling up on the Republican side. And so that's really what this race is about today. It's not about who controls power in Lansing between now and the end of the year.
Although the politics at play here, if they're going to force Garland Gilchrist to make some of these decisions on votes, that has political ramifications because he's running for another office.
Well, first of all, if Garland Gilchrist shows up, that'll be a major story because
Fair.
he has the worst attendance record of any lieutenant governor in history. But look, it really won't, because if the Democrats win this seat today, they will have their majority back. 2018 that they had in 2023 and 2024. But then the Republicans won back control of the state house in 2024, and that changed everything. Because no matter what the Senate does, and no matter what the governor wants, if the Republicans controlling the House don't want it, they can block anything. So the idea that somehow Democrats winning this seat today, getting back the seat they had when McDonnell Rivet held it, is going to change anything. It isn't, because the Republicans now control the House, which they didn't back in 2023 and 24.
Bill, special elections, they're always about turnout. Who has the advantage there?
Well, so far, the Democrats have shown they're turning out much better than Republicans. This is nationally. We don't really know here in Michigan because we haven't had a true test in the last 16 months, but we're getting a test today. And we'll find out if Republicans are motivated to get out and vote today, and for that matter, independents and ticket splitters. I think the Democrats are motivated, and I think they'll be out. Chedrick Green outspent Tunney in this race by over $1 million. So money has poured into this race, particularly from out of state, because of what I just said. The Democrats want to keep the narrative going that they're on a roll, that the Republicans are in trouble, that Donald Trump is unpopular, and they're winning these elections, and that the voters nationally and here in Michigan want to return the Democrats to power. That's the story they're trying to cement.
Bill Ballinger, always great insight. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk soon.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right.
You got
Talk to you, Bill.
Interesting race out there. And
Very
like
much
you
so.
mentioned, a lot of money being spent. Meanwhile, I found this story in the Los Angeles Times. Gen Zers are taking microtrips. And in this particular case, Akilah Cox and her boyfriend took a red-eye flight from Pennsylvania to Dublin. The trip lasted less than 30 hours. They hit up a number of spots. They went to the Guinness store. They went to the Book of Kells experience at Trinity College, Haypenny Bridge, Capel Street for shopping, things like that. They went to a dinner and a show, and then we're back to work on Monday. Is this something you'd be able to do?
Not me.
You flying across the world
Not me.
for 18 hours
I
of
need
being
some
there
time.
and coming back?
I need some time. But, for these, Gen Zers, I mean, they have limited PTO a lot of times, and these kind of trips just kind of fit into their schedule. They're a little cheaper. They're easier to plan. And, you don't have to take off a full week. And, so it works for them.
Yeah. In this case, Cox is working as a full-time engineer. She's getting her master's, and her boyfriend's in medical residency. So she's like, we can't.
Yeah.
We just can't take a bunch of time off. That's just not real for us, but we like to travel. We like to go places. And this is like a new thing. And one of the trends that is showing on like Airbnb, for example, is that people are these, younger folks are not buying Airbnbs when they travel because they're only there for they're not like sleeping there.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's incredible. Some of the comments on these posts have been really funny too. Like, I want to be this crazy, or I'd love to, do that. It does sound like a lot. But if you're somebody that can sleep on a plane, if you're somebody that can, maybe it doesn't bother you as
And it has
much.
to fit if it fits into your schedule because of, the things that I, said, these limited gig-based schedules, limited PTO. I mean, these people, these Gen Zers, they prioritize I think memories over extravagance.
800-859-0957, 800-859-0WJR. That's there for you. Would you take a micro trip? Would you go to Dublin for 30 hours? Hit a couple of spots, come home, be to work on Monday. They left Friday night, took a red eye Friday night, back to work on Monday. You know what cocktails they had on the trip?
What did they have?
Red Bulls and 5-hour energies mixed together.
They had my cocktail.
No, Bright.
That's what they had.
They had a Lloyd cocktail.
They had a Lloyd cocktail. Ain't any booze in there.
No, they had to. They had to have some. Yeah.
This is the greatest Guinness I've ever had in my life. Paul W. Smith is off on his Pure Michigan tour. We're going to talk to ITC Michigan next. That's coming up on JR Morning.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Service didn't define their story, but it shaped their foundation. Hear inspirational stories about our veterans as they transition from military service to civilian life on The Veterans Blueprint. Sponsored by VetLife, Sundays at 6 a.m. on 760 WJR. Michigan students planning for future in business, here's an opportunity you won't want to miss. Shelving.com is now accepting applications for its 2026 Business Scholarship. Founded in Michigan and still proudly headquartered in Madison Heights, celebrating 12 years of supporting Michigan's next generation of business leaders. As a family-owned company that stayed true to its local roots, Shelving.com is committed to investing in the communities it calls home. This year, 3 students will receive scholarships, including a $4,000 grand prize, along with awards for 2 additional finalists. The program is open to Michigan residents pursuing a business-related field of study, as well as high school seniors enrolled to begin their studies. Applicants should have a strong academic record and a clear vision for how they'll use their education to make a positive impact. At Shelving.com, investing in students means investing in the future of our local business community and the leaders who will shape it. Applications are open now through July 2nd. To learn more or apply, visit Shelving.com.
We rock your world.
Thumb Coast Theater presents My Fair Lady. Step into the world where Cockney flower girl Eliza Doolittle gets a chance to leave her humble beginnings behind with a little help from Professor Henry Higgins. This timeless musical is a dazzling tale of charm, wit, and transformation. My Fair Lady in St. Clair, April 24th through May 17th. Catch JR Afternoon 2 to 4 p.m. this Thursday for your chance to win show tickets and a night stay at the Inn on Water Street. Tickets on sale at thumbcoasttheaters.com.
When you get a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, things get real.
And the Parkinson's Foundation has real answers. Go to parkinson.org or call our helpline at 1-800-4PD-INFO.
WJR and the Detroit Economic Club present our 6th annual Rising Stars campaign, sponsored by Awcom and DFCU Financial. We're on a mission to spotlight some incredible young leaders under 40 who are driving innovation and making a real difference in their respective industries and within our vibrant communities. Do you know an inspiring individual, a game changer who deserves recognition for their outstanding achievements? Tell us their story, highlight their impact, and help us honor Detroit's next generation of leaders. The deadline for nominations is May 22nd. Details at WJR.com/risingstars.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day, but Aleve is here to keep you moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
One crash on the roads at southbound 275 at Ford Road. It's taking up the right lane, also partially blocking the end of the westbound Ford ramp to southbound 275. Eastbound 94 slow between Livernois and 75. Also seeing delays on southbound 75 between Dixie Highway and Ortonville Road. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
The unseasonably cool weather will continue. Not a bunch of rain around this morning, but and picking up a few showers. I think they'll continue to be on again, off again into the afternoon. I think more mostly cloudy than anything else. A little bit breezy near 60. Tonight we'll drop to 43, suburbs in the 30s with a few showers. Might get a break tomorrow morning, then showers late in the day again. Partly sunny in between. 60 Thursday, cool and partly sunny, 58. For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stejik on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Well, our Paul W. Smith is out and about on his Pure Michigan tour.
Yeah.
Some of the great broadcasts every year. I look forward to listening because they're always just that awesome places, fun places.
He was at Mackinac yesterday.
Mackinac yesterday. I saw him getting some ice cream.
Big old ice cream cone.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's tremendous. But it's kind of the kickoff start to the part of the calendar where we get to go out and enjoy the weather, enjoy the beaches, enjoy the sights and scenes and the smells and the tastes,
and see what we
all
have
across
to offer
Michigan.
here in Michigan.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And it wouldn't be possible without our friends at ITC Michigan. Julie Burrell's the area manager and joins us this morning. Julie, it's good to have you.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here.
Well, we always appreciate your partnership. And let's talk a little bit about ITC, what you guys are doing now, what you're doing in the company.
Yeah, for sure. So ITC owns and operates the high voltage electric grid, which is also sometimes called electric transmission lines, throughout the majority of Michigan's Lower Peninsula. And our work basically starts at power plants where electricity is generated, and then it gets carried through our high voltage transmission lines, normally over fairly long distances. And then eventually we connect to the smaller local power lines like your DTE or Consumers Energy. And those are called distribution lines that end up bringing the electricity directly to your house, my house, and businesses that we know and love. So we're essentially kind of responsible for developing, building, and maintaining all of that transmission infrastructure that holds that three-part system together, moving power from where it's generated to where it's needed, kind of like how highways do for people.
You know, one of the stops along this year's WJR Pure Michigan Tour is the Heritage Museum of Newaygo County. Why did you guys select Newaygo?
Yeah, well, first, as you mentioned at the beginning there, ITC has been a longtime sponsor of the WJR Pure Michigan Tour, and we're really excited to continue that again this year. And so I don't know if you guys know where Newaygo is, or if any of your listeners know where Newaygo is, but it's about 40 minutes north of Grand Rapids. And, you know, I really think that Newaygo County is a hidden gem. It's an incredible destination, especially for outdoor enthusiasts, and it has a much shorter travel time than some of the other more widely known up north destinations.
Yeah, it's a great spot. Newaygo County. I don't get there as often as I'd like, but it is, you're right. It is a wonderful corner of our mitten. You talked a little bit about the power systems that you guys have, but the grid in particular, the energy landscape here in Michigan. I have to imagine that's a big focus for you guys at this point.
Absolutely. So a couple minutes ago, I mentioned about that kind of three-part system, the generation, transmission, and distribution. All of those are changing really, really fast. So generation is shifting. You know, as we know, we have new natural gas plants coming online, retirement of coal plants. We've even had, you know, the restart of a nuclear plant here in Michigan. And all of those changes impact how the grid operates. And then on the distribution side, of course, demand is increasing. So if you think back 20 years ago, none of us were charging multiple smartphones at home or using battery-powered lawnmowers or even listening to WJR via the internet, right? So all of those things are changing how everything operates. And then, of course, we at ITC with the electric transmission, we're at the center of all of those changes. So we have a critically important job to make sure that we're staying ahead of all of that, keeping the grid reliable so that way it performs, exceptional for us today, tomorrow, and 20 years from now.
And Julie, ITC works closely with communities and landowners. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. So we work really closely with communities. So I failed to mention earlier what my role is, but one of the great things is I get to work directly with communities. So I am an area manager on our local government and community affairs team, which basically means that I'm the connection between ITC and the communities that we serve. And that can mean something different every day, like supporting a local economic development organization, attending a chamber event, or working with communities when we need to do maintenance on equipment, or maybe even when we need to build a new line. And that's, really our focus is wanting to be a true partner and a good neighbor in the communities we serve. And I am lucky enough to be able to build all of those long-term relationships in 21 counties in Northwest Michigan. So, yeah.
I'm sure you've been very busy lately then with all of the talk that's going on about energy needs and demands and things like that. And it's just such a wonderful partnership. And we're so thrilled that ITC continues to be a main partner with Paul W. Smith and the Pure Michigan Tour.
Yeah, we're excited to continue the partnership and really excited to have him in Newaygo at the Heritage Museum today.
Awesome. Well, thank you for everything, and enjoy the stop. Everybody will be listening very excitingly to hear what's going on in Newaygo County and with ITC. Julie Burrell with ITC Michigan. Thanks so much. Really appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks so much. You guys have a great morning.
Yeah,
You as
yeah,
well.
you do the same. Cool.
Always great to have Paul W. up there kind of showing us and telling
Giving us the roadmap.
Yeah. I mean,
What we need to do this summer.
there's so many great places in Michigan. So many, you don't necessarily have to leave Michigan. A lot of staycation places around here that you can really enjoy yourself. A lot of great places.
You know the problem that we find ourselves in, particularly with the kids?
Uh-huh.
It's like we find our favorite spots, and then we just kind of, it's like a magnet. It just kind of pulls us back. We just kind of go to these areas. We got our spots out in West Michigan, Northern Michigan, things like that.
Uh-huh.
But I always think let's go somewhere else. Let's go do something else.
Experience something different.
Because it's just, there are so many great spots that you just instantly fall in love with.
Uh-huh.
That you just want to keep going back for
to
more.
it.
keep trying to find,
Yes.
chasing that dragon, because it's so wonderful.
Yeah, it is.
But there's just so many great spots here in the state of Michigan, and Paul highlighting a lot of those for us on the Pure Michigan Tour. Meanwhile, Pistons getting ready tonight. Game 1, Series 2. Cleveland on tap, 7 o'clock tip at LCA.
It's going to be a great series, I believe, because these teams really played each other hard during the regular season. I played 4 times. Pistons won 2 games. Cleveland won 2 games. So I think it's going to be a great matchup. I also think LCA is going to be hyped this evening, and that's going to help out as well. And we need, of course, Cade to come through as he always does, but Cade needs some help, and we need some help from some of those other players to really make it happen. And I think if we get that help, you can't beat us.
Yeah, that help comes from Tobias Harris
Yes.
a lot in that series. He played pretty well. Jalen Duren kind of found his way a little bit
JD.
towards the end of that series, so that was good to see. You know what's interesting? We talked a lot about how the Orlando series helped us going forward, how it prepared us for this series against Cleveland. Well, James Harden was saying the same things. Toronto did some unbelievable things. They prepared us for Detroit. We know we're facing a really good team. They got Cade, the head of the snake, who's playing well, Tobias Harris, who's playing extremely well. We'll figure out what they like to do, figure out what we want to do, and just take it from there. So they're basically saying the same thing.
They both went 7 games.
That slugfest with Toronto helped us get ready for Detroit.
Yeah, but it's not good enough. It wasn't good enough for them to get ready for Detroit. Detroit is take them out.
I hope so.
I'm just saying.
I hope so. We were flying a little too close to the sun in a lot of that Orlando series for me.
We were.
So I hope.
I'm confident now.
I'm confident too. I like this matchup more.
I do.
I like this matchup more than I did the Orlando series.
Yes.
So that is helpful.
Yeah, and I like this matchup better than if we would have been playing Toronto.
How do you think Dan Gilbert feels about all this? I mean, he's wearing his Cleveland Cavaliers stuff for sure. He's the owner of the team.
I know.
I
man.
love
it's
it.
kind of. Hey, listen.
He's rejuvenating Detroit. He's rejuvenating Cleveland.
He's getting a little bit of the best of both worlds, I guess.
I think it's awesome. What a wonderful predicament to be in.
I mean, come on.
It's pretty darn
That's
cool.
a nice side story. I'm sure they're going to talk about.
Absolutely. 8 o'clock hour coming up. A lot to do. We're talking gas on the other side, too. It's Jared Moore.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life's sleep.
Here's Ryan Goldberg, President and CEO of DFCU Financial.
At DFCU, our credit union is all about our members and the community. We're not just focused on numbers and metrics, but we are focused on doing the right thing for our communities. That's why we pay back earnings to our members through a very popular cashback program.
How about small business owners? How do they benefit from being with DFCU?
Our business and commercial banking teams bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise to benefit you. By understanding your unique financial needs, our team can deliver tailored lending solutions, deposit, and treasury management. Working with DFCU means you'll have access to decision makers and benefit from speed to market. We're in a strong liquidity position, and that means we have money to lend and the willingness to lend it. Business lenders often have a box that customers must fit into. We don't work that way.
Some restrictions apply. Visit dfcufinancial.com for details. DFCU Financial is an equal housing lender, federally insured by NCUA.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR, Detroit. A Cumulus Media station.
News for more. Secretary Pete Hegseth in a few minutes on the operation President Trump calls Project Freedom to get more ships moving in the Strait of Hormuz while continuing to block Iran's ports.
Can't let them have a nuclear weapon or you'd have problems like nobody would believe. And it's going very well.
Fox's Trey Yingst reports from Tel Aviv.
There are more than 15,000 U.S. soldiers, sailors, and Marines in this area that are helping to escort these vessels. They are not actively riding alongside the vessels, but they are overwatching them. And so they have the ability to shoot down the incoming Iranian fire. But again, Iran is not only targeting vessels in the Persian Gulf, but they've now turned to start attacking with ballistic missiles and drones these countries in the Gulf, including the United Arab Emirates.
Iran warns the U.S. not to drag this back into a quagmire after the American military destroyed 6 small Iranian boats for attacking ships. There are reports a man who opened fire near the Washington Monument yesterday is facing charges today. Fox's Kevin Cork reports Secret Service spotted him first.
He appeared to have the imprint of a weapon on him. So when officers approached the guy, he took off and then he started firing on them. They, of course, returned fire. The suspect was hit, but then again, so was a child near the scene. Both the child and the gunman remain hospitalized. They are recovering.
Cole Allen remains jailed today after a judge apologized to the suspect in the White House Correspondents' Dinner attack for facing restrictive conditions in jail on suicide watch. They are going to the polls today in 2 states, Indiana. President Trump is backing Republicans there in 7 primaries that he's trying to unseat GOP state senators to join Democrats, blocking a congressional redistricting in Ohio.
Republican John Husted is running in his Senate primary unopposed. The former lieutenant governor was appointed to the seat by outgoing Governor Mike DeWine when then Senator J.D. Vance moved on to become vice president. On the Democratic side, former Senator Sherrod Brown is back and has far outraised his Democratic primary challenge.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit. Winnings are in bloom this May at MGM Grand Detroit. Spring into the Friday drawings and your chance at $15,000 in cash. Stop and smell the flowering fortunes exclusively at MGM Grand Detroit. It's a good time for a grand time. 21 and up.
Southbound 275 at Ford Road, an accident is taking up the right lane. It's also partially blocking the end of the Ford westbound ramp to southbound 275. Eastbound 94 between Livernois and 75, we're seeing slow traffic. Same with southbound 75 between Dixie Highway and Ortonville Road. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Treetops Resort. Treetops' 5 distinguished courses mean every round lives up to its promise. Spectacular. Layer in the unlimited golf stay and play package, and the value becomes impossible to ignore. Quality, quantity, and consistency. Honestly, it's one of the best golf deals in Michigan. To book, call 888-TREETOPS. Cloudy and cooler today with a high of 61. Right now it's 58. Clouds overnight and a low of 44. Slight chance of showers tomorrow, high of 57. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
MB Jewelry Design doesn't just sell designer jewelry. They are the designers. This Mother's Day, give a gift as special as the person you're giving it to. Now save like never before through Mother's Day. MB Jewelry Design at Maple and Telegraph. Call 248-671-0087. MB Jewelry Design. Making moms happy for over 50 years.
It's Ryan Armani. I'm with Eric from Paramount Roofing, giving you 5 tips when hiring a contractor this spring.
Check to see that they are verified with proper licensing and insurance. Check their online reviews, number of years in business, and do they require a deposit and have a warranty. At Paramount Roofing, we give you a 5-star experience on every project with no deposit required.
Schedule that roof replacement now and get 5 years, 0% interest financing at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com.
WJR's newest sweet deal goes on sale this Friday at 9 a.m., and you don't want to miss this one. Purchase a $50 gift card to Chicane in Plymouth for only $25. That's right, half off to enjoy one of Metro Detroit's chic new dining experiences, located in Plymouth's Old Village. At Chicane, you'll discover fresh seasonal dishes from their live fire grill, handcrafted cocktails, and live entertainment in a boldly modern setting. Plus, enjoy unbeatable happy hour deals. Celebrate Mom this Mother's Day with Chicane's Classic Brunch on Sunday, May 10th, 10 to 3, featuring prime rib, salmon, made-to-order omelets, and more. Or book your next special event in their stunning Apex or Circuit Room. Set your reminder now, Friday at 9 a.m. Visit WJR.com. Click on Sweet Deals and get your $50 Chicane gift card for just $25 while quantities last. WJR Sweet Deals, half off for a full, memorable experience.
Are you concerned about outliving your money? If so, tune in to Money Talks with Joseph Uplegger, Saturdays at 5 p.m. Joe will help make sure you get the retirement you deserve, Saturdays at 5 p.m. right here on WJR 760.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
All right, 8 o'clock hour. Good to have you here on a Tuesday. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth at the podium this morning talking about the latest on Iran, talking about Project Freedom being defensive in nature. The United States doesn't need to enter the waterways or airspace of Iran, saying it's not necessary, and that Iran is the aggressor. Let's dip into hear what he's saying.
Iran's illegal stranglehold. We're protecting the lives and livelihoods of sailors from dozens of countries, securing global energy routes, and preventing shortages that hit the world's poorest people the hardest. Once again, America is using its strength to lift up others. Iran is trying to subjugate the world. To what remains of Iran's forces, if you attack American troops or innocent commercial shipping, you will face overwhelming and devastating American firepower. The president has been very clear about this. We prefer this to be a peaceful operation, but are locked and loaded to defend our people, our ships, our aircraft, and this mission without hesitation. To Iran, let innocent ships pass freely. These international waters belong to all nations, not to Iran to tax, toll, or control. To our partners, allies, and the rest of the world, this is a temporary mission for us. As I've said before, the world needs this waterway a lot more than we do. We're stabilizing the situation so commerce can flow again, but we expect the world to step up. At the appropriate time and soon, we will hand responsibility back to you. To the incredible Americans executing this mission right now, simply thank you. Your courage, your readiness, your unmatched professionalism and precision are why the world can breathe easier today and every day. You are and always will be the greatest fighting force in human history, unmatched always. Project Freedom is underway. Commerce will be flowing, and America is once again leading with strength, clarity, and purpose for the benefit of the entire world. Our will is unshakable. God bless our troops, and God bless the mighty United States Navy as well. Mr. Chairman, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. On Sunday, at the direction of the President, CENTCOM initiated Project Freedom with the objective of facilitating the safe passage of international commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Over the past 7 weeks, Iran's repeatedly threatened and attacked commercial shipping in the Strait in order to effectively cut off commercial traffic and damage the global economy. By obstructing one of the world's most critical maritime checkpoints, a vital transit route for approximately 1/5 of the global oil consumption, Iran is weaponizing the global supply chain. This action disregards established navigational rights and the law of the sea, and the regime led by the IRGC is effectively attempting to hold the entire global economy hostage. Let me give you an update of the last few days of activities, and if you take a look at the map here, as the Secretary said, the United States has established Project Freedom to open up the Strait of Hormuz. This graphic highlights the kinetic engagements that the Iranians have attempted to make or have taken against the region. The green dots and blue dots show the groupings of commercial, cargo, and tanker vessels. And the United States has established.
All right, so that's Dan Kane, the chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. A lot of information there from the secretary saying America is using their strengths to lift up others in the region, and that if these attacks don't stop, there will be overwhelming and devastating American firepower that the Iranian regime will face. A simple call there by the Secretary Pete Hegseth: let innocent ships go freely. He also said to our allies in the region, this is a temporary mission. They're doing this to stabilize the world, and they will be handing back responsibility to those who count on the commerce of the Strait, which I thought was pretty interesting there. Certainly for those, France and many of our NATO allies that rely on that waterway for commerce, saying that you're going to have to at some point step up here, even if you don't want to now.
Yes.
At some point, you're going to need to help out here.
And he said, these other allies, need the straits really more than the United States, but we're getting hit. I mean, our gas prices are still
the global impact. Certainly,
it's still.
It's not that we require their energy, their fuel,
right?
But the global domino effect here has been quite obvious. Particularly when you head to the gas pump. So we'll keep you up to date on that. If any other interesting news comes out of that press conference, we'll surely pass it along to you. Meanwhile, the good news today is we've got Pistons basketball tonight, 7 o'clock.
Sir.
NBC Sports Network, Peacock for your viewing pleasure. And just get out, just win this game. Make it 1-0.
Yep.
And take care
One
of
game at a
business
time.
Tonight. And you're expecting big things from the crowd, too.
I'm expecting the crowd to be crazy tonight, and it's going to be huge. And I think we need to hit the ground running, get out in front, and just keep that lead and, get some help for Cade, Tobias, JD, Asar Thompson. We need him to get some steals and be very active, and I think when you have all those hitting, it's hard to beat us. JB
Bickerstaff also got an extension yesterday. We don't know the deals of it.
No.
The terms of it, but certainly well worth it for JB Bickerstaff. He's done a wonderful job.
I mean, he's turned this team around. I mean, 14 games. Remember, like 28 losses in a row, 14. I mean, we're a long way from that now. We're a long way from that now. Now, it didn't turn out the same for Orlando, which I told you yesterday. I wouldn't want to wake up in Orlando yesterday and have to deal with that. And now their coach is gone.
Yeah. Tarek Skubal undergoing surgery on his left elbow. It's going to sideline him for some time, unfortunately. And AJ Hinz talked about the surgery and what it's going to mean.
Tarek will also go on the injured list. And I kind of walked through the timeline. He's got loose bodies in his elbow, which we have determined last night. When I said no news was good news, we didn't have any news when I was sitting here 24 hours ago. And then during the game, I think he had another episode of it locking up and was uncomfortable. So we got scans on it yesterday, revealed the loose bodies. and he needs to get it taken care of. So surgery is going to happen soon.
It's going to put a lot more pressure on the starting rotation for Amber Valdez when Justin Verlander returns. So it's going to put a lot more pressure on the starting rotation. It's going to put more pressure on the middle relievers too, certainly. And offensively, they're going to have to hit the ball.
Get them bats. Got to get the bats going.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we, the situation in Iran continues to evolve. There were missiles launched, drones launched towards U.S. ships. Small fighter boats for the regime were approaching and fired on vessels in the region. And that's a part of the reason why this press conference was today. But this Operation Freedom, as they mentioned, is underway to try to escort boats through the Strait of Hormuz safely. And that continues to be a main focus for the United States when it comes to Iran.
Spirit Airlines is asking the U.S. bankruptcy court to approve millions in retention bonuses as the discount carrier shuts down operations after filing for bankruptcy. The airline confirmed it has ceased flying and says there are no longer any viable options to continue operating or reorganize. In the court filing, Spirit's chief financial officer said the company has no alternative to an orderly wind down. The airline says it lacks the funds to properly sell off aircraft, and Spirit is seeking approval for about $10.7 million in bonuses for remaining employees, averaging about $76,000 each, along with additional payments for top executives. As we know, Spirit has been under financial strain for months, worsened by rising fuel costs and failed bailout talks. Now, listen, you want to give bonuses to the employees who are still there and the top executives, but hopefully the people who have been stranded, who paid their money, who get their refunds like they're supposed to as well.
Meanwhile, I told you about letsbuyspirit.com.
Yes.
Yesterday, letsbuyspiritair.com. I think yesterday during the show it was at 88 million. Up to this morning, 132 million.
Yeah, still a ways to go. I mean, but
target's 1.75 billion.
A little ways to go.
Got a little ways.
But
the average pledge size is almost $1,000. Does that surprise you?
Wow.
$934. That seems crazy to me.
That is.
Gas prices continue to rise. When can we expect a little bit of a respite? Patrick DeHaan joins us on the other side. It's JR Morning.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
To meet our 21st century energy demands, we need a 21st century electric grid. ITC, the nation's largest independent electricity transmission company, is working every day across the state to modernize the grid. That means safe, secure, reliable electricity to power our energy future. ITC is based right here in Southeast Michigan, always working for the greater grid. Learn more at itc-holdings.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
Hey guys, it's Ryan Armani here. If you're feeling low on energy, brain fog, weight gain, or a drop in motivation, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's tied to hormone changes that can be measured and treated. At Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth, they focus on solutions like testosterone replacement therapy, or TRT. Testosterone naturally declines with age and can affect energy, muscle mass, mood, and mental focus. TRT works by safely restoring levels to a healthy range based on a lab work and ongoing supervision. They also offer peptide therapy. Peptides are amino acids that help your body signal and repair itself. Certain peptides can support fat loss, recovery, sleep, and overall performance, helping your body work more efficiently. I joined Game Day Men's Health last November, and with proper testing and a personalized plan, the difference has been incredible. Located on Ann Arbor Road in Plymouth, start with a complimentary consultation. Call 734-927-1718. That's 734-927-1718.
WJR and the Detroit Economic Club present our 6th annual Rising Stars campaign, sponsored by Awcom and DFCU Financial. We're on a mission to spotlight some incredible young leaders under 40 who are driving innovation and making a real difference in their respective industries and within our vibrant communities. Do you know an inspiring individual, a game changer who deserves recognition for their outstanding achievements? Tell us their story, highlight their impact, and help us honor Detroit's next generation of leaders. The deadline for nominations is May 22nd. Details at wjr.com/rising stars.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm's sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
Couple of crashes on the roads right now. Northbound Telegraph at 10 Mile, we have an accident. Same with eastbound 94 at Warren Avenue. That one is off to the right shoulder. So travel on westbound 94 between Outer Drive and Mount Elliott. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
All right, the push now is for more dry than wet. You're going to hear showers mentioned, but don't be intimidated. Just a few showers this morning and a few this afternoon. I think more hours of dry than wet. Cloudy with all that. And a west breeze, 59. Tonight, chance of showers, 43. Suburbs probably get into the 30s in spots. Partly sunny tomorrow, late showers, 60. Thursday, partly sunny and a couple degrees cooler, 58. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, Game 1, Pistons and Cavs. We'll have a preview from downtown. Also, the latest on Tarek Skubal as the Tigers ace is out indefinitely with elbow surgery. All that and so much more. 760 WJR.
Well, according to AAA, the average price of a gallon of gas is
too much.
$4.40. In Michigan, the average cost $4.80. So beating the national average in the worst way possible.
Yes.
But is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Could we see a respite on some of these prices? Might we see them come down? To talk about that, Patrick DeHaan, the head of petroleum analysis at GasBuddy.com. Patrick, it's good to talk with you again.
Well, thanks for having me.
It seems like there are a lot of different factors as to why these prices have gone up the way that they have, particularly the last couple of weeks. What's contributed to that?
Well, the latest sharp increase that we saw compared to last week is really a heavy dose of refinery snags that developed. Several. BP's refinery in Northwest Indiana had a unexpected power loss week before last on Sunday night, compounded by maintenance that's also happening. I think most of the time you've probably had me on in the past couple of months, we've been talking about refinery maintenance season. Well, that's happening. And when an outage like BP's happens, when other refineries doing maintenance, there's limited ability for gasoline flows to remain consistent. Not only that refinery, but then another one outside Chicago, ExxonMobil Joliet, Marathon Refining in Robinson, Illinois, and Phillips 66 in Roxanne, Illinois. So all the refining issues, then on top of oil prices that had jumped early in the week last week after President Trump had signaled to his administration to be prepared for a longer blockade of the strait, which had sent oil prices sharply higher. So all of that is what happened at the pump, not only in Michigan, by the way. Kind of a unique circumstance. Michigan probably should have gone above $5.
Wow.
Along with Illinois. But Indiana, which has a gas tax holiday of 17 cents, went up to the exact same amount that Michigan did. So I don't think I've ever seen that. But yeah, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, all went up to as high as they could go without hitting the $5 a gallon mark.
So, Patrick, the question there, I guess everybody wants to know, when do we get a break at the pump?
Well, let's look at the numbers here this morning. I think we'll start seeing a little bit of that. You'd mentioned looking at our data, we're at 483 this morning, gas buddy data for a statewide average. That's down a half a penny. Don't be in a rush to really hurry and fill, although unless something happens in the strait, that could change. But
Right.
I think we'll get a little bit of relief this week. We're at 483. It wouldn't surprise me. By the end of the week, that will probably be in the mid to upper 470s. So long as these refinery issues get sorted out, which usually happens after about a week or two, we could probably see prices fall into the mid fours again after this, so long, again, as there's no new issues. I don't have a crystal ball. And if there's any new refining issues, of course, that could send prices back up. But hopefully some modest relief this week. But I feel foolish saying that because we're still in the upper fours, right? And even if it gets any better, it's going to be in the mid fours, which, by the way, prices in Michigan today, $1.66 above where they were a year ago.
I want to play you something that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said yesterday. He says that gas is expected to come down here in the next couple of weeks.
Corporate earnings are good, employment is good, and this gasoline, this temporary aberration will be over in a matter of weeks or a month.
Well, let's say everything stays status quo in the Strait of Hormuz at this point. Is that a realistic timeline?
Not even remotely close. I wouldn't look for gas to go under $4 this summer unless the strait reopens. And as we all have seen, Iran now launching new attacks on the UAE, that appears as unlikely as ever. Even if the strait were to completely reopen tomorrow, we're probably talking about Michigan prices that are either in the upper threes or low fours this summer. And that's going to be way, way higher than last summer when prices were in the low threes. So there's no circumstance in my mind, as this has been ongoing for 65 days, the world has missed out on 1 billion barrels of oil that would otherwise flow through the strait. Global inventories are declining. Even the U.S., we exported nearly 99.2 million barrels of oil and refined products left our shores in the last 7 days alone. The president's inviting countries to buy our oil. They're doing exactly that. So until the strait reopens, our inventories are being more and more depleted. Our SPR has fallen another 5 million barrels in the last week. And that's not doing really anything to cushion the blow here. So, whatever you hear out of the administration, all thoughts aside, there's really not much in my mind that we'll see prices fall like a rock or fall anywhere close to where they were prior to this situation. I think at best, as I mentioned, Michigan mid to upper $3 a gallon range this summer.
So drivers here should brace for more pain before any type of real relief comes on the horizon?
Well, yeah, I mean, more pain. I think the same pain they've been dealing with the last couple of weeks is not likely to disappear. I think we'll be around $4 a gallon. I would even say that into July 4 now. Even under the most ideal of outcomes, we could be still close to $4 around Memorial Day. Even if the strait reopens, we're going to be, mid to upper fours by July 4, because in the backdrop, it's when the strait reopens, if and when that happens, it's not going to happen to, everyone's saying, well, when it reopens. Well, I don't know if it's just going to reopen or not in the way that we're all hoping it will. If it does, maybe mid threes by the summer, or I should say by the middle of the summer. But we won't see any of those sub $3 prices showing up potentially for a year longer, because in the backdrop of those global oil inventories are declining, and it's going to take probably the better part of a year now to build those back up. And every day longer, it's going to take another week or so. So we're tacking on time to this. We're not talking about seeing, those sub $2 prices that President Trump talked about in the State of the Union. You might not see that until 2027.
Patrick DeHaan at GasBuddy.com. We always appreciate your insight. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
My pleasure.
Yeah, you got it. Interesting.
People are, wanting to have, get in the cars and drive. That may kick that back a little bit because of these gas prices, but they are cheaper than, I'm sure, flying on the airplane. Jet fuel is
it probably does benefit our local economy in the state of Michigan this summer, because people are more likely to drive somewhere, stay closer to homes where you can drive and take advantage of what we've got here. As Paul W. Smith on his Pure Michigan tour, this is something that I think makes more sense this summer probably than people heading out somewhere else.
I'm telling you, because those plane rides, like I said, are going to be pretty expensive.
They are expensive. And again, this is the one of the things the president said is like, this is what we expected. That doesn't make it easier. No, it's not a good selling point to people who are like, wait a second, I can't afford anything before this.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. And obviously that's something that they have to contend with. Pistons play tonight. We'll talk about that on the other side. Coming up on JR Morning.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Mark Levin, weeknights 9 to midnight on 760 WJR.
The right storage starts with the understanding of how you work. Visit Shelving.com's Madison Heights showroom, where their experts can talk you through your needs to recommend tailored solutions, from Unirack pallet racking to Lion boltless shelving. Learn more at Shelving.com, built around the way you work.
Shelving.com, Shelving.com, we rack your world.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. The Pentagon delivering the latest briefing on the war with Iran. War Secretary Pete Hegseth minutes ago.
Project Freedom is defensive in nature, focused in scope, and temporary in duration, with one mission: protecting innocent commercial shipping from Iranian aggression.
Hegseth adds the naval blockade remains in effect, but is the ceasefire still in place?
U.S. officials told our Jen Griffin that we are closer to the resumption of major combat operations after what took place this week. Iran launched a missile and drone attack on the UAE.
Fox's Aisha Hajian at the White House. Gas up 3 cents overnight, landing at $4.48 a gallon. That's the national average from AAA. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Consumers Energy.
Every day across Michigan, 75 cents of every customer dollar is at work securing the electric grid. From upgrading equipment to preparing for storms, it's year-round work that keeps your service more predictable. Michigan, you can count on Consumers Energy.
Northbound Telegraph at 10 Mile, we have an accident. Eastbound 94 at Warren Avenue, crash off to the right shoulder. Slow travel also on eastbound 94 between Livernois and 75. Same story on southbound 75 between Dixie Highway and Ortonville Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Weingarts. When you think about equipment that's built to last, John Deere's always at the top of the list. You'll find them at Weingarts, where they stand behind what they sell. Visit Weingarts.com to learn more. That's the Weingarts way. Cloudy and cooler today, a high of 61. Right now, it's 58. Clouds tonight and a low of 44. Slight chance of showers for tomorrow with a high of 57. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Look, things are expensive. You know that, unless you've been living under a rock, which you're not. And no matter where you look, costs are rising and they're hitting you hard. And when you're forced to make tough choices at home, keeping the lights on and keeping the heat or air on should never be one of them. Consumers Energy is stepping up, giving back $5 million to assistance agencies and supporting efforts to increase energy assistance dollars for families in need by 50%. And with personalized energy savings programs, you can actually take the steps to start reducing your energy bills today. So count on Consumers Energy for that support. Learn more at consumersenergy.com/help.
This winter might not have been the worst one on record, but it's up there. Aside from being hard on people, it's
Coming up Wednesday on JR Morning, hopefully we'll be celebrating a Pistons win. We'll also find out why Donald Trump is working to defeat some Republicans in some key May primaries. And we got Name That Tune on tap at 8:49 right here on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app.
and review their findings with you. And if they do find a problem, it can usually be fixed with an inexpensive repair. But if it is time for a new roof, you could not hire a better company than Victor's. Over-the-top customer service, highly skilled crews that install a perfect roof every time. And best of all, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. So give them a call for your free roof inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS. Or online at victors.com. Victors.com.
In Metro Detroit, we know that some days are easier than others. But this May, for Mental Health Awareness Month, we're focusing on how we can have more good days together. A good day looks different for everyone. It might mean feeling grounded, finding a moment of connection, or simply having the energy to show up. Mental health. America is encouraging all of us to reflect on what we need to thrive and how we can support those around us. You don't have to navigate the tough days alone. Start by taking a free confidential mental health screening at mhascreening.org.
WJR just made it easier for you to nominate the next All Talk All-Star with Kevin Dietz.
And this week's All Talk All-Stars, Krista Funk, the Executive Director of Detroit Regional Dollars for Scholars.
I think it's really just about having that guiding person to walk you through it.
Just send your nominees' information to alltalkallstars@cumulus.com. It's that easy.
Tom Violante, FAR in Birmingham.
Leadership has to be confident. It's got to be fiscally responsible. That leader has to be dynamic and driven.
Then listen to past winners at WJR.com/all-talk-all-stars.
Rick Snyder has long been someone who believes deeply in the idea of giving back. Governor Snyder, it's great to have you with us.
I like to joke with people, what do you do with an old governor? Or I'm on my 5th career now, and I think I may have a 6th in me. So
send your nominee now to alltalkallstars@cumulus.com.
Stay here for All Talk with Kevin Dietz at 9. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
7 o'clock tip tonight down at LCA. You can watch it at NBC Sports Network or Peacock. The Cleveland Cavaliers are in town for round 2 of this playoff. And look, I feel much better. I feel much better going into this series than I did about halfway through that Orlando series.
Yes, definitely. Hopefully, wouldn't it be great if we can, keep home court and win both of our games here at LCA?
Hunter Patterson is a staff writer covering the Detroit Pistons for The Athletic and joins us this morning. Hunter, it's good to have you.
Good morning. I appreciate y'all having me.
So these two teams were really good during the regular season. The Cavaliers made some trades at the deadline. They got better. And as a result, I think we're buckling up for a good one here.
Yeah, I think it should be a great series, another physical series, and one that probably will go, I think, at least 6 or possibly 7 games.
How important, as even though it was scary as I don't know what, how important was it for the Pistons to go through what they went through with Orlando going into this series now with Cleveland?
I'd say it was extremely important. This group obviously is only in their second experience as just going through postseason ups and downs, and Jalen Duren obviously went through the rigors of being game plan for as a second option, and I think he'll be better for it going into this second round. But it's a team that just thrives in adverse situations, and it's obviously they don't want to be in those situations, but it seems like they really bond and kind of band together when they really need to. And Cade is someone who finds pressure as essentially a privilege in a way. So he just enjoys big moments and always seems to bring his best in those moments.
I mean, Tobias Harris is always pretty steady. He had a wonderful game 7. But when you look at when they're at their best, Cade is asserting dominance. Asor Thompson is defending, is stealing, and Jalen Duren is that outlet pass that always finds, he always finds himself a little open space there in the paint. Is that what it's going to take against Cleveland here?
Yeah, I think part of the challenges that they overcame in that first round were about kind of rediscovering what made them a 60-win team. And you can't allow offensive rebounds, which they were doing a decent amount through the first few games against the Magic. You can't turn the ball over. And when you limit those 2 areas, you force teams to play against one of the best defenses in the league over the last 2 years in the half court that a lot of teams have difficulty scoring against. So I think it's really just about limiting those 2 areas, not giving the Cavaliers an opportunity to have multiple possessions. And from there, you just turn defense into offense. And I also think that the Pistons are going to have an easier time scoring on the Cavaliers just because there are more players you can target, essentially. Donovan Mitchell isn't the best defender. James Harden isn't really the best defender. But obviously, front court, you have a defensive player of the year in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, who's one of the best rim protectors in the league. So I think it'll be a fun matchup, but they've rediscovered what made them the best team in the East, and that should carry them in this series.
You expect this to be a fast-paced, kind of high-scoring series, or more of a grinded-out battle?
I think this is going to be a slugfest. This is for people who prefer old-school hoops, physicality, low-scoring games. I think this will be the series for them.
Well, we're very excited about it, and we're just looking to get this thing started tonight. Can't wait till 7:00. Hunter Patterson, thanks so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Of course, I appreciate y'all having me.
Also, I don't know if you saw this. Yesterday was May 4th.
Yeah, Star Wars Day.
Whatever. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Brian's back there shaking his head like his neck's going to snap off.
It was a Star Wars Day.
I was going to book some guests, and Chris shot it down.
Yeah, I'm like, what do we do? Who cares? It's another day. It's May 4th. May the 4th. Yeah, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You get it.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The White House posted a meme yesterday showing Donald Trump as the Mandalorian. Brian, I'm going to need some
background.
I'm going to need some help here. The Mandalorian is who?
He is a warrior. He is trying to think.
We're just driving the audience away.
Do you know who Boba Fett is? Boba Fett is a Mandalorian. A Mandalorian is a species of people.
This was a bad idea. I don't know who Boba Fett is.
I don't know. But I've been chatting online with babes all day.
How do you not know who these people are?
I don't know who any of these people
are. It was one of the biggest series they put out on
I've seen
Disney.
the movies. I just don't. I'm always confused when I watch them.
You seen the Star Wars movies?
I have.
Okay, I haven't.
You haven't seen any of them?
If I was to watch the first one today, it'd be brand new.
Lloyd, I'm with you. I haven't seen any of them either.
But I guess same way about people who haven't seen Rocky. I feel like, what is wrong with you?
I've seen Rocky. I just
Star
reject
Wars. I've
Rocky.
never seen Rocky.
Yeah. Okay.
So yesterday,
I know a little bit about
the White House posted this meme of Donald Trump dressed up as the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
Again, looks like a little
Baby
who's that
Yoda.
guy?
Baby
Yoda.
Yoda.
Baby
Yeah.
Yoda.
Okay, looks like Baby Yoda. And they posted in a galaxy that demands. Oh, now my computer's being silly. In a galaxy that demands strength, America stands ready. This is the way. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
According to what the White House wrote.
Well, they, in one hand on this picture here, he is holding a flag,
Mm-hmm.
the American flag, that notably has only 11 red and white stripes as opposed to 13. And he holds the Mandalorian helmet, which any fan will tell you that being barefaced is against the Mandalorian code.
Correct.
Okay.
The Mandalorian is basically a Western.
You
He's
guys.
he's like a gunfighter. It's a very good show. And now you wouldn't like it because it's Star Wars, but it is like a Western. He's a gunfighter that goes town to town.
I'm so sorry,
does good
everybody. I'm so sorry.
Come back. Please come back to
I
us.
apologize.
Come back to us. Come back to us.
Next segment, we break down last night's Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. Do you know what I always think of with stuff like this? You would be surprised how often I have this thought. I love, history and
you
like
do.
the founding fathers and,
Yes,
and how
sir.
everything started, right?
Yes, sir.
I always wonder if you were to go back in time, 1776,
Mm-hmm.
and you tell, John Adams, you're like, one day, somebody who holds your position that you're going to hold
Mm-hmm.
is going to post a picture of himself dressed up as a movie character. And the first question is, what's a movie?
Oh, true.
And you're going to say, it's a story on film. And they're going to go, what's film? That whole thing.
Yeah.
But then it's going to, if you were to tell these people about what goes on in today's world,
Yeah.
they would just be like, what?
Shouldn't they be busy running the country?
Yeah. What are we doing here? Aren't there laws that need to be passed? Don't you have to fund departments?
Right.
Aren't there things that need to be done?
Clearly, that job got very much easier after we quit doing
I'm
it.
telling you. Why do we have to go through so much crap?
President Harrison's like, I got pneumonia from my speech and died.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt, I got shot and
Right.
lived and still get to give a speech.
Right.
You're posting Mandalorian pictures.
Right.
I got the bad end of this stick.
I just love that I create this story in my head, this dichotomy between today's United States and what it was when we started almost 250 years ago.
Wow.
I love it. It cracks me up because they would never believe
Never
what's
in a
going
million
on
years.
today.
Never
Yeah,
in a million years.
Funny. Coming up on the other side, Mallory McMorrow under some fire. Is it warranted? Coming up on JR Morning.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-2013 or biglou.com.
Do you have an IRA or 401k? You want to think of this as being your money. But remember, you still have to pay taxes when you withdraw this money in retirement. And these taxes, well, they could be a lot higher than you know. Learn how you could reduce or potentially eliminate these taxes with a free retirement tax savings analysis. It's from the Brzezinski Group, a second-generation financial advisory firm right here in Metro Detroit. If you've saved at least $250,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 800-641-3361. This free analysis could save you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes in retirement. Call 800-641-3361. That's 800-641-3361. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Firm does not provide legal or tax advice.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
Michigan students planning for future in business? Here's an opportunity you won't want to miss. Shelving.com is now accepting applications for its 2026 Business Scholarship. Founded in Michigan and still proudly headquartered in Madison Heights, celebrating 12 years of supporting Michigan's next generation of business leaders. As a family-owned company that stayed true to its local roots, Shelving.com is committed to investing in the communities it calls home. This year, 3 students will receive scholarships, including a $4,000 grand prize, along with awards for 2 additional finalists. The program is open to Michigan residents pursuing a business-related field of study, as well as high school seniors enrolled to begin their studies. Applicants should have a strong academic record and a clear vision for how they'll use their education to make a positive impact. At Shelving.com, investing in students means investing in the future of our local business community and the leaders who will shape it. Applications are open now through July 2nd. To learn more or apply, visit Shelving.com.
We wreck your world. WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by the Hartford Auto Insurance. Wait until you hear this. You could save hundreds by switching to AARP Auto Insurance from the Hartford. Visit trusthartford.com. The Hartford, your protection is our passion. The Hartford Insurance Group Inc. pays royalty fees to AARP for the use of its intellectual property. AARP and its affiliates are not insurers. Savings vary.
Few problems on the roads right now. Westbound 696 at DeQuinder, an accident taking up the right center lane. Traffic's backed up to 11 Mile. Crash taking up the right lane. Also on westbound 696 after Hoover. That has traffic slow from Groesbeck. Eastbound 94 at Warren Avenue. An accident on the right shoulder there too. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Skyworks Equipment Rental. Commercial and residential spring projects are in full swing. Now's the time to rent your equipment from Skyworks Equipment Rental. And don't forget to make those summer project rental reservations. Book today at skyworks-reliablerentals.com. That's skyworks-reliablerentals.com. Here's your forecast.
Overcast hanging around, but not much rain coming out of the clouds this morning. A few showers around, and we could see some lingering showers into our afternoon. A west breeze and cool near 60. Tonight, still some scattered showers possible. 43. Suburbs will be a little cooler. Tomorrow, a few showers. It looks like a lot of that might be late in the day, and not much once again. Plenty of partly sunny 60. Partly sunny Thursday 58. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
So new tension in this primary race for U.S. Senate here in the state of Michigan. A report surfaced on CNN highlighting these roughly 6,000 tweets that were deleted by State Senator Mallory McMorrow, who's running for U.S. Senate. She would disparage this part of the country, the Midwest. She would praise California. She included all kinds of different remarks about Donald Trump, things like that. And this is when all of these candidates, whether it's Abdul El-Sayed, Haley Stevens, or Mallory McMorrow, are trying to jockey for position here.
Yes.
Because this is a pretty hotly contested race. I want to play you a little bit of audio, something that Mallory McMorrow said on Sunday on CNN with Manu Raju. She talked about, she had reposted or retweeted a tweet that said, no, it's not that Midwesterners don't understand, or it's not that the coastal elites don't understand the Midwesterners. It's the Midwesterners that don't understand the coastal elites.
I think we all need to understand each other better. Trump has succeeded in weaponizing us against each other, convincing us that we are each other's enemies. I've lived all over the country. I've met a lot of different people, and I stand by that. Was it the most eloquent tweet I've ever tweeted? No. I've tweeted thousands of times.
Caitlin Buss is the assistant editorial page editor with the Detroit News, did a piece on this and joins us this morning. Caitlin, good morning. What struck me most about that particular interview on CNN was, if you go back to 2024, what was the narrative? Well, it's that the bookends of the country don't get the middle. They don't understand it. And Mallory McMorrow, even after this old tweet resurfaces, she's doubling down on that. That to me was remarkable. Is Caitlin? There you go. Sorry, Caitlin. We got you now. Go ahead.
Hear me?
Yes.
Okay. When this first hit, she's roughly, and I've been, around Mallory McMorrow for, a long time. She's certainly been around here in Southeast Michigan. But when this surfaced, I kind of thought, okay, she's a millennial candidate, lots of us have social media. We've had it for years and years. I kind of tried to get it. And I see your point, I was a normal person making normal tweets, but no, she was never a normal person. She's always been, as far as I've known her, angling, for office. And what I also thought was interesting is the tweets didn't reveal anything necessarily new about her. It just pushes back on the message she's trying to send now. We know that she has, progressive tendencies. She's voted that way as a state senator. She's been very supportive of the, gender ideology, of some of the more woke policies. But lately she's tried to rebrand more as a centrist to, get through that general election should she get there. So I don't know that this is a huge problem for her in the primary. The Democratic primary is kind of a mess. And those voters, tend to be farther left. But this is definitely bad should she make it through to the general. Like I said, I thought it was her deplorables moment. I mean, it just kind of laid bare everything she really thinks about Michigan, the middle of the country, this old debate that's been going on. And now she doesn't know what to say about it. But like you said, she doubled down on it. So I think that's an off-putting message for Michigan voters for sure.
Caitlin, can a candidate recover from a perception of condescension, or does that tend to stick with you?
It obviously stuck with Hillary. I think Mallory is very different, in a sense from her, in that she's more up and coming. She's kind of the newer Democratic establishment versus the old. I think she can recover from this. I don't think it will tank her campaign necessarily, but she was already kind of polling in the last poll a bit behind. So we'll see what happens here. That Democratic base is so all over the place right now. I just don't know where this will land.
Interesting. Caitlin Buss, thank you for your time this morning. Really appreciate it. Interesting piece in the Detroit News. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you got it. Meanwhile, you've got the Tarek Skubal news.
Oh, man.
Which is just absolutely brutal.
It is.
There was an interesting conversation that the Detroit News had with Dr. Kevin Farmer with the University of Colleges, Florida of Medicine.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about what this is. So this is these loose bodies that Tarek Skubal has in his elbow. They're like pieces of bone, cartilage, things like that.
Okay.
What it shows is wear and tear. And what the time frame here is he said it's a minimally invasive surgery. And it's probably, 6 to 8 weeks of recovery before the swelling goes down.
Okay.
Then after that, you're talking about another potentially 6 to 8 weeks of strength training, pitching before he's able to rejoin the pitching rotation. That's like the best case scenario.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so you could be looking at for sure a few months.
A few months. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But it causes a lot of headaches. A lot of headaches.
Oh, man. The pitching rotation, middle inning pitching.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot that it kind of shakes up there.
It shakes up a lot. And the realities are, offensively, they're going to need to try to score a bunch of runs. Not that they haven't already been, obviously.
Yeah.
But it becomes more paramount. And the question then becomes, do you have the bats to do that? Do you have the bats to give yourself a little bit of a
little cushion there?
A little wiggle room. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, some days it seems like they do, and other days it's not very consistent. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's fair. It's the inconsistencies that are that could bite them.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just going to put a lot more strain on the pitching staff as a whole. So it'll be interesting to see. And that's the domino effect of having your back-to-back Cy Young winner, your no doubt ace on the staff goes down for a big chunk of the season. That's going to be problematic. Jason, you're dialed in. Do you think this is going to what's the impact of this? Like playoff wise, you think this is going to hurt them?
I don't know who they're going to replace him in the rotation.
Yeah.
Reese Olson already out. I forgot about him.
Mhm.
Verlander's out.
Yep.
As far as playoffs, no, I don't think they will. I think Cleveland takes this division now because I just don't think they all, like Lloyd, like you said, the offense just is not consistent enough.
Right.
They needed to add a bat in the offseason,
Right.
and they didn't do it, and now they're going to pay for it.
Well, and I mean, you get Kevin McGonigal, right? He's been that
He's been great.
spark plug.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen necessarily the power yet.
No, Torkelson, the average is still low.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about Baez.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
yeah.
He leads the Baez haters club. Yeah. Meanwhile, we got Pistons.
They both play downtown tonight.
Cavs tonight. Yeah, it's going to be
Tigers and Pistons.
downtown.
Yeah.
It's going to be absolutely awesome. That's going to do it for us. Have yourself a wonderful Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Kevin eats.